at your local Honda dealer. Don't miss it.
Honda, I like it. Oh yeah, I like it.
Guys, laser hair removal is such a simple thing to do. Their simple treatments will destroy hair follicles in a matter of minutes, so you'll save time, you'll save money, and you'll save yourself from a lifetime of shaving. Their medical and nursing professionals have mastered the process of laser hair removal. They stand behind it as one of the best ways to get rid of that hair for good. What are you waiting for? I know you're tired of asking other people to shave your back. I know you're tired of the red bumps from where your shirt rubs up against your neck after shaving. Call for your private complimentary consultation at Ideal Image Med Spa. Again, they want you to be confident this summer with 60% off laser hair removal. Ideal Image Med Spa has performed over 6 million laser hair removal treatments nationwide. They're America's #1 choice for laser hair removal. 904-652-0652. That's 904-652-0652. Located at the Markets at Town Center, US 17, just south of Orange Park on Fleming Island. St. Augustine and Diane's Marketplace on South Ponce de Leon Boulevard. Medical Director, Dr. Holly Hickman, and IdealImage.com.
For 25 years, we've been cheering on our Jaguars with an unwavering loyalty and commitment. To celebrate this milestone season, swing by Gate and cheers to 25 years with the Jaguars' 25th Anniversary Collectible Cup. Only at Gate. Grab your 32-ounce cup today and fill it up with your favorite fountain drink for just $1.25. Then refill anytime for 99 cents, while supplies last. Gate, serving up more.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Geico. It's here. Tomorrow night, the Jaguars kick off the preseason in Baltimore against the Ravens. Our coverage starts at 3 o'clock tomorrow with the Coastal Equipment Kickoff Show, featuring Lauren Brooks, Hayes Carline, and Tony Smith. The Jags and the Ravens kick off at 7:30 tomorrow night. And this is new this season. The Jaguar fans will now be able to stream the radio play-by-play broadcast of Frank Frangie, Tony Baselli, and Jeff Lageman through the new and improved Jaguars app. If you'd like to hear the Jaguars radio broadcast, you can stream it live by downloading the new Jaguars app. Today, the SEC announced the 2020 football schedules for all 14 schools. We will go through the Florida Gators coming up on the Frangie Show. At 3:02, 84 degrees. Your time and temperature brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
The Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Yeah, I had a hot day and it's a long way back to my home. Turn the radio on and hear it. My friend Lizzie pretend that their voice counts, but nothing amounts to anything until I hear it from you.
Frank, Hayes, Lauren, and Gibby. The Frangie Show starts now on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Welcome into the Frangie Show on a Kitchen and Flooring Design Center Wednesday. Hayes, Gibby, and Lauren with you from 1010XL headquarters. And Frank Frangie's still up in Baltimore as the Jaguars take on the Ravens tomorrow night. Frank, are you ready for some football? Well,
I am, and I'm set up in traveling headquarters, okay? These are the traveling headquarters, otherwise known as Rick Ballew's hotel room, okay, just in case you're wondering. That's the studio. There's our traveling studio.
Is Rick Ballou modeling for you as you do the show?
He is not. He is not offered. Here's the thing, nor have I asked. So we have all that going for us together. He actually is going for one of his long walks. I walked this morning. We old people, we walk's what we do, so he's going on one of his walks as well.
Sounds good. Well, overall, were you encouraged by the 2 days of practice against the Ravens?
You know, I really was. I want to temper this, Lauren. And every time I've been on with you guys, we've all talked about all afternoon. I want to temper it. It clearly is designed for the offense to be better. I've said it 1,000 times. Defense is about violence. It's the fear of violence. It's almost like baseball without being allowed to pitch inside, right? There's no fear. The quarterbacks, as good as they have been, they know nobody's hitting anybody. That's what they know. No one's going to hit. And you can hang in there a little longer if you know, even though you're trying to replicate or simulate a real game, if you know you're really not going to get hit, you can hang in a little bit longer. they're still trying not to make a mockery of it, but you know the point. So it is designed for offense, so that's why both offenses have looked good against two tough physical defenses ordinarily. So, but yeah, I was encouraged. Look, I think their offensive guy, I never felt like, it's been a long time since I felt like they have a really good quarterback, a really good running back, and three pretty darn good receivers. When have we felt that way? When's the last time we felt that way? Brunell, Fred, Jimmy, Keenan, Kyle, Brady? Is that the last time we felt like this? Really? If you think about it, right?
Yeah, I think I was in high school last time we did.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, and I'm not saying these guys are as good as those guys were, but isn't that the last time? Hayes, I was trying to think through it. When is the last time you felt real? I mean, when Garrard was playing well and Mojo was back there, I'm still not sure the receivers were very good, right? So when did we feel like possibly, and I know they haven't done it yet, but the potential existed that may be what's in play here.
Yeah, it's 20 years in the making if the passing game is good. And I think there's no indication yet that it won't be. I do think that it, as you mentioned, until we get to September 8th, until we see them do it against the Chiefs and do it consistently, it's hard to count on it. But I have been surprised before they went to Baltimore. I was surprised at how the passing game was as consistent as it was. Because even going back to OTAs, they really have not had a bad day. I mean, I think the most incompletions Foles has thrown straight at any one time might be 2. If they do not get out of rhythm, and that's been really impressive. So, that was sort of going into this week, and then this week was going to be a little bit of a test, and maybe it wasn't the test that we anticipated because the coaching staff on both sides said, hey, let's not get crazy with the defense. But it's still a different team. So to hear you guys that are up there say that, Foles has really looked consistently great and the receivers have looked consistently great over the 2 days, it's encouraging because it is another obstacle that was put in front of them, and it doesn't look like it slowed them down. So now as we really get into the preseason games, be interesting to see where it goes from here. But based on what we've seen now, it would be surprising if the passing game isn't at least competent. And that's what we've asked for. Just be competent, on a consistent basis. And because everything else around you is in place. And so hopefully they've gotten to that point. And sure, if Nick Foles becomes a playmaker who can routinely hit the deep ball game in and game out, they're going to be hard to defend. Because I do think, the way Leonard looks right now, I mean, if he gets space that he hasn't seen before in this league, I think you're going to see a different player.
I don't think there's any question about that. I got a question for both you guys. Do you feel like, Hayes, you said you were surprised. Were you surprised, or did the passing game look this good, or has it just been this long since it's looked that way at practice?
I'm surprised that the receivers look like they're having such a instant chemistry with Nick Foles, even Conley, because, I mean, again, it's not like Nick Foles and Chris Conley were teammates for 3 years. I mean, they basically had 1 year together. It was a couple of years ago. So their instant chemistry even surprised me. But to see how well DJ Chark and Dede Westbrook seem to really be in harmony with what Nick expects, where Nick's going to place the ball, that's really been the surprise to me is whether it's give Foles the credit or whether it's that DJ Chark and Dede Westbrook have just really blossomed and Chris Conley has avoided the first year, at least to this point, the first year free agent malaise where it sort of takes you a year to get figured out in your new surroundings. That's what's been so surprising to me, and I think you do have to give Nick credit for that. But I also think DJ Chark and Dede Westbrook and Chris Conley deserve a ton of credit because they've really gone from being maybe one of the 3 weakest positions on the team to now I think you're looking at it and the storyline has become, do they really need Marquise Lee? And I think that's a major change in our thinking going into camp and certainly going into OTAs where it was like, boy, it'd be great if they had Marquise Lee. And it would be great if they had him. But now at least you don't feel like there's an urgency to getting Marquise back in the lineup.
Frank, when you were up in New England, how did their passing attack look in comparison to the Jaguars' passing attack that you've seen this training camp in the last couple days?
Boy, that's a really good question, Lauren. I don't know that I can compare it. It was 2 years ago, but your questions, where you're going with the question is dead on. I hear you. I don't know that anybody looks like Tom Brady, right? Every throw is on time. Everything's a spiral. That ball never hits the ground. I don't know if it's quite like that. And, again, it's been 2 years since we were up there, and there was a trip to Minnesota in between. But, yeah, it's supposed to – what you're asking is, does it look the way it's supposed to look? In Foxborough camp, when nobody hitting anybody, it looks the way it's supposed to look. Mm-hmm. It looks way more like that. It really does. And Hayes, to your point a minute ago, I mean, I haven't been excited about Jaguars receivers in a long time. And, again, they haven't played in a game yet. I'm out on a limb. I told you, I think D.D. Westbrook is going to be a Pro Bowl player. I'm there with him. Conley is a guy that Nick trusts and knows, and this might be his time. He might finally have his time. He looks good. DJ Chark. If you're asking me to guess right now, I would guess Chark won't lead the team in catches. He's less likely than the other two because I think Conley is more polished. I think D.D. has more big play potential, that burst. But Chark may have as much upside as any of them. He's almost as fast as D.D. And they're all three fast now. That's one thing. They can all three run. This isn't and I don't mean this disrespectfully at all, but this isn't Alan Hearns, who's reliable and wonderful and a terrific guy and catches most balls thrown to him. This isn't Allen Robinson, who's right now a better player than all three of these guys, but he's a go-up-and-get-it guy. He's not an outrun-you guy. These are three fast guys now. Just because Chark and Conley are big doesn't mean they're not fast. There's three fast guys on top of everything else. And so, yeah, it's fun to watch. I got a lot of stuff to share with you guys about practice, about expectations for tomorrow night. But I'm glad we kind of started with this because that's the thing. The passing game is what has everybody here at this team hotel buzzing a little bit. Tempered because they haven't played a game, haven't even played in a preseason game yet. But all you can see is what you can see, and what we've seen looks pretty good.
Which Jaguars players need to play tomorrow night? We will discuss that coming up next on The Frangie Show on a Kitchen and Flooring Design Center Wednesday on 1010XL.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings Studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Florida versus Miami. College football opens its 150th season in Orlando. And on 1010XL. Listen to the Gators and Canes on Jacksonville Sports Radio. Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL. Brought to you by Darley's Plumbing.
The preseason coaches poll was released last week, and Florida checked in at number 8, the first time the Gators have been a top 10 ranked team in the preseason since 2013. Clemson was the overwhelming favorite at number 1 with 59 of 65 votes, followed by Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma, Ohio State, LSU, and Michigan. FSU and Miami are both unranked, so the only other school in Florida that is ranked is UCF, tied at 17th with Wisconsin.
Hi, I'm Ellen Darley with Darley's Plumbing. When you use Darley's for any plumbing work, you're getting the service, expertise, and reputation of the Darley's family name. We do it all, from leaky faucets and toilet repairs to whole house plumbing remodels, slab leaks, and sewer lines. At Darley's, our team is here to fix your plumbing issues right the first time. That's why we say Darley's is where quality counts. Visit us online at darleysplumbing.com.
Nimnick Chevrolet is the #1 Chevrolet dealership in Jacksonville, and they just won Dealer of the Year for 2018. Some of the reasons they're #1 is that they have the most inventory and the best price guarantee. They've been serving and donating to this community for 78 years, and no one cares more about the customers before, but more importantly, after the sale. That's Nimnick Chevrolet. Head there today, won't you? Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Warning. This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. The world is changing. Isn't it time smoking changed too? Meet Vuse Alto, a vapor product offering you a satisfying alternative to cigarettes with long-lasting pods filled with liquid blended in the U.S. Vuse Alto delivers our highest performing vapor yet. Simple to use, surprisingly quiet, and impressively powerful. Vuse, leading the way today, tomorrow, and in the future. Underage sale prohibited.
If you're facing surgery or taking medications for erectile dysfunction, there is an alternative solution, Core Wave Therapy. This is Dr. West, board-certified urologist with the McKeever Clinic. With CoreWave therapy, you'll experience an ED solution with many benefits over traditional therapies such as surgery or pills. The procedures are short, painless, and have no downtime.
Call 355-6583 or visit McKeeverClinic.com. That's MCIVER. McKeever Clinic, innovators in urological care since 1921.
Fernandina Beach, live local radio for Jacksonville. 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Jags fans, a TIAA Bank debit card could be your ticket to London this November. With the TIAA Bank London Getaway, one lucky winner and a guest will receive round-trip airfare, hotel, and tickets to see the Jaguars take on Houston. For official rules and more details, visit TIAABank.com/London. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents within the United States and D.C. 18 years and older. Or were prohibited. Entry period from 7/15/19 to 9/13/19. For official rules, how to opt in and register, how to enter by mail without making a debit card purchase, and other details, visit TIAABank.com/London. Sponsor and administrator, TIAA, FSB, member FDIC.
Hey, it's Rick Boo. You know my friends at McGowan's are the best in the business. So when you need AC service or repair, you want to hire the prime-time players. Don't settle for some other second-rate practice squad repair service. I'm telling you from my own experience that McGowan's always makes the cut. Expert technicians, fast, reliable service, and fair pricing means you'll always be with a winning team. Call McGowan's at 264-COOL. My friends at McGowan's, the official heating and air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
License number CMC 1250075.
Are you an experienced electrician looking for a new challenge? Do you feel stuck or unhappy at work? Looking for benefits like a company-matched 401k, health insurance, and paid vacations? Master, journeyman, or apprentice, we may have a spot for you at O'Rare. O'Rare is a family-owned, equal-opportunity employer since 1955 looking for skilled commercial and industrial electricians who are ready to get to work. Apply today at O'Rare.com. That's OREAIR.com. OREAIR.com. Because at O'Rare, quality doesn't cost, it pays.
When was the last time you looked forward to mowing the lawn? I know fighting that old mower in the summer heat is not your idea of a good time, but it can be with the Gravely Zero Turn, because Gravely's been taking the hard work out of yard work for over 100 years. With the fast and reliable Gravely ZT HD, you can take back your weekends. Come see the full line of Gravely mowers and job site vehicles at Tools for a Time, and take advantage of 0% financing for 48 months with approved credit. Find us online at toolsforatime.com. That's toolsforatime.com.
When you owe the IRS or Florida sales tax and can't pay, contact J. David Tax Law. Voted best tax attorney by Folio Weekly Readers and an ultimate tax attorney by the Jacksonville Business Journal. Stop collection action and permanently resolve your tax problem. Peace of mind is only a click or call away. Call J. David Tax Law now for a no-cost consultation at 507-4777. That's 904-507-4777. Online at jdavidtaxlaw.com.
Get inside the Gators with the Florida Gator Report with Lauren Brooks.
Go, Gators!
Brought to you by Darley's Plumbing, where quality counts.
A big win for the Florida Gators.
Get your Gators on 1010XL.
It's a Kitchen and Flooring Design Center Wednesday on The Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
If you haven't been to see the new showroom and the new displays at the Kitchen and Flooring Design Center, you have got to go. They're located on Southside Boulevard across from Tinseltown. You will love the friendly, experienced group of interior designers who will help you transform your home. Head to floorsandkitchen.com or go see them at the Kitchen and Flooring Design Center. Hayes Carline, Andrew Gibson, Lauren Brooks with you in Jacksonville, Florida. Frank Frangie up in Baltimore, Maryland. We are previewing Jaguars-Ravens tomorrow night. Which Jaguars players need the reps in tomorrow night's game? Because at this point, we are going to assume that not all starters will be out there. I will start and say I would like to see rookie right tackle Jawan Taylor. I don't know that he'll start because, of course, the Jaguars may work him in. He is a rookie. But I do want to see what he can do and see what this offensive line looks like when he is taking up the right side of the line.
Yeah, you know, my guess is, and they're not going to announce now who, and I was waiting for an announcement. Hayes, you and I were on the phone earlier, and you told me, I didn't realize that you said typically teams don't really announce who's playing and who's not. You kind of got to find out game time or around the game in a preseason game.
It's very strategic for the preseason.
Yeah, and I hadn't thought about it until Hayes said it, but that's right. So I don't know when they're going to announce it, and nothing is definite until the team says, here's what we're doing. But I would guess it's going to be mostly rookies. I would guess that I'd be very surprised if he plays. I don't expect him to play. And honestly, Lauren, my guess is Most prominent guys won't. No, again, we won't know that till tomorrow. But if I was guessing, that'd be my guess. It's been our guess all week. But yeah, I think you'll see the rookies. If assuming Foles doesn't play, and again, we're going to assume that. I assume that. Wouldn't you think that means Minshew plays a half? That's what I want to see. I've got to believe every rookie's going to play. Every healthy rookie's going to play. And probably play a lot. And I think every young guy fighting for a job is going to play a lot. I think that's what the game's going to turn into tomorrow.
I would sit Lambeau. That's how that would be my strategy going in.
Right.
I mean,
you sit them all.
Yeah.
You sit them all.
So, I mean, clearly, Foles, Fournette, Dede,
Yeah.
Linder, obviously Cam Robinson, Marquise Lee aren't going. I'm not playing Norwell. I'm not playing Calais, Jalen, Yannick, Darius, Boye, Miles Jack, Avery Jones. I mean, it is a protect the playoffs because you're not going to get anything out of putting those starters out there tomorrow night against Baltimore. But you can certainly lose something. You can certainly, have your path to the playoffs take a detour if you lose one of these guys. They just can't afford to do it. So Doug has been cautious is the word that he's used. He's used smart instead of cautious, but he's used them both. It's definitely smart to not just pull Nick, but to pull a bunch of the guys from this game. Yeah. And again, you've got 90 guys on the roster, so you can certainly rest your top 15 guys and have plenty of bodies to get you through the game and let it be a showcase for the rookies. Jawan Taylor's going to get a good amount of snaps. Minshew is – I agree. I think Minshew's going to play the majority of the snaps compared to Lee and Magoo. Minshew will probably take the entire first half. I might even like seeing him come out in the third quarter, just to see how he processes that and can he find a rhythm after halftime. But I mean, I don't think you can be too cautious here. So I think we're going to see a lot of recognizable names just with jerseys on and not doing a whole lot.
What do you think, Lauren? Would you do that? I was on with Jeff and Dan today, and Jeff thinks you should all play, including Foles, and Dan doesn't think so, and I don't. I haven't thought that much about the other guys. Hayes, you're the first one I heard say it, but yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they hold them all out. Again, I don't know. I'd be very shocked if Foles plays. He's the one I would be shocked if he played. I wouldn't be shocked if the others played, but it wouldn't surprise me if they held him out. And I'm like, hey, I'm hold them all out. Hey, Lauren, where are you on that one?
After DeMonte Kazee, I believe is how you say his name.
Yes, it
ruined
is.
Marquise Lee's knee for at least a year.
Yes.
I am going to say that not all players take the preseason lightly, and so yes, you can bubble wrap them all. In my opinion, we're not going to learn a whole lot. They don't necessarily need it. And it's starting to look like the preseason is a bit of a joke, as Fred Taylor called the all top 25 list for the Jaguars.
How would you guys treat? How would you treat the preseason? Like you got 4 games, so let's assume. Again, I'm going to go ahead and assume Foles didn't play. Let's assume none of them play. Would you play him a quarter next week, 2 quarters in the third week, and then sit him again? Is that the way you guys think it'll go? Hayes, is that what your guess is?
Yeah, I think sometimes it even depends on who your week 1 opponent is. And with it being Kansas City, who is a great team, but I don't know how physical the Chiefs are. That's not what they're really known for. If I'm not playing a team that I think is going to really try and play smash mouth, and few do now in the NFL, but there are some. Like if I was playing the Carolina Panthers in week 1, I'd want to be a little bit more battle tested in the preseason. But I think knowing that it's the Chiefs right out of the gate, and that's going to be more of a finesse game. Yeah, I would treat it like we're already at the 18-game schedule, 2 preseason model, and none of them of importance outside of the rookie. The rookies need to play, but outside of the significant rookies, my significant veterans would be sitting certainly games 1 and 4. And, yeah, I'd probably shrink what's been the norm in preseason games 2 and 3. It would probably, for Nick Foles and Leonard Fournette, I would think maybe just a couple series in the second game and then maybe a quarter in the third. I mean, I need the starters to come out of halftime and play into the third quarter of the third preseason game. I think that logic is totally disappearing from the mindset of coaches, where 2 years ago, that was pretty much the norm. Your starters played into the third quarter of the third preseason game. I'll be shocked if there's more than 4 or 5 teams in the league that do that this year.
For me, it's like gambling. I'm not willing to lose the money, even though I could win money. I'm not willing to lose the money. For the preseason, I would treat it like that. The risk is far greater than the reward. I don't think some of these guys, they've all played enough college football. I don't think that they are going to gain that much from this preseason than they are potentially going to get hurt.
You know, you started this thing, Lauren, about who should play, who will benefit from it, right? Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk. If the big guys aren't playing, let's assume. Okay, does Alfred Blue play? Now, he's a veteran too now.
Yes.
Do you? I would think so. Hayes, would you play Alfred Blue?
I would play Alfred Blue.
Yeah. Okay. So
because if I lose Alfred Blue, I think you can.
Not derailed.
I think you can overcome that,
Yeah.
and it is his first year here, so I think I wouldn't play him a ton, but I'd probably give him 12 snaps.
Which receivers would you guys play?
Well, wait,
I
sorry,
agree
would
with
you
you, by
play
the way.
Benny Cunningham, right, too?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think if Fournette's not playing, then and Blue's playing only a little bit, the rest of them have to play, right?
Right.
I would think you got to. It's a 4-quarter game, so I would think everybody healthy. Thomas Rawls, by the way, could play, even though he was limping around a little bit. I don't think he's going to by next week. I think he'll be fine. But Rock Thomas, Devontae Mays, all of them, I think. Armstead, remember, he hadn't been out there, so I think you got to play all the rest of them.
Yeah, and Mays has actually had some flashes, I think.
Yeah, I think he's a camp back, but we'll see. We'll see. Receivers, who'd you play? Who'd you guys play?
I would play Terrell Pryor and Keelan
Okay.
Cole and Tyree
Okay.
Brady and
Okay.
CJ Board.
So you would not play the 3 guys.
Heck no, because I only have
Hayes,
really
you-
3 guys with Lee out.
Hayes, would you not play the 3 guys?
No, I'd be a little bit more. I'd be a little bit more liberal there in terms. I think I would want to see. I need to see DJ Chark. I need to see Conley. D.D. Westbrook definitely. I would give the night off to. But I think Conley and Chark. I can see the value in the reps there. Plus, I do want to give Minshew at least a fighting chance. Because I am, with the way I would look at it, I'm not playing Linder, I'm not playing Norwell, and I don't have Cam Robinson. So you're already, really handicapping his offensive line. So I would sit D.D. Westbrook because I think he has emerged even beyond. It is a trio, but I think D.D. has sort of shown that he's even maybe more valuable than Chark and Conley at this point. So I would play Chark and Conley, not a ton, but I'd at least give them maybe 2 series. Let Minshew at least hopefully get in a rhythm with those 2, and then I'd sit him.
I'd be more tempted to play Chark than Conley, but I almost think, gosh, if you're going to sit them all together, keep them as a unit. To your point, Lauren, if you're not playing Foles and Fournette, and if they're not, then why not sit the 3 receivers too, and sit Swaim too, and let them all play for the first time together next week. It'll be interesting to see. As for guys that need to play, who can help themselves? Because I think, Lauren, that was the question you asked. The centers, right? The back. If Linder doesn't play, Shatley can help himself because you got to believe with all that practicing Ken has done at center that Shatley's on the bubble, right? I mean, wouldn't you think if they're working Ken at center? Now, having said that, I haven't seen that here. Here, he's been the right guard. Period. He was working at center until we got up here. So, but that's a guy that can help himself.
When Ken joined us yesterday, Frank, sorry to interrupt, he said that they're working him at center because they did have so many injuries that kind of decimated them last season.
Oh, he did?
Yes. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're literally just doing that to make sure that if something happens to Shatley, the backup center, that then they have another guy there too.
How about Will Richardson, Hayes? He can help himself, right? I mean, here's a guy that's just played better. I can tell you, being around coaches, they kind of like – they were very disappointed last year in the way it went with Will Richardson, not just the injury, the fact that he wasn't ready. They think he's had a pretty good offseason and that he's going to help them. He's not going to be a starter, and they actually think he's been a pretty good – they drafted him to be a tackle. He's 6'6", but they think he's been a pretty good guard too, so he could be a guy – that all of a sudden they got their eye on him. So he's a guy I think could really help himself in these first few games, including tomorrow night.
I think that's a great call on Will Richardson. Doug said the other day, it's night and day what Will Richardson's been able to do, and he wasn't even asked about Will Richardson. That was something he offered unsolicited. So, yeah, the 4th-round pick from 2018 has definitely gotten off to a good start in his second year after basically a 0 rookie year. I think it's absolutely a huge opportunity for Will Richardson to show what he can do. And again, if you're one of these undrafted guys, if you're Bunchy Stallings, let's go. This is where, if you're going to make a push, this is where you have to start making it, because there will be fewer reps in preseason game 2, preseason game 3, and really once they get to preseason game 4, they already know they're 53. The only way that changes is if there's some sort of an injury in that game, but otherwise, at that point, I think the hay is pretty much in the barn for those guys. So, yeah, I think it's big for a guy like Bunchy Stallings. I think it's big for Josh Wells, who seems to sort of be, Josh Wells and Keelan Cole seem to be guys that are, trending the wrong way, and they'll have an opportunity Thursday night to show that, hey, you can still count on us. Don't give up on us yet.
And fans have heard the name Charles Jones now that Doug Marrone has talked about him, and we've mentioned him a few times on different programs. But is it possible that he ends up taking the spot away from Ben Koyack as the 4th tight end on this roster?
I thought about that, but he's more Josh Oliver than he is Koyack. Now, Koyack's just a guy, and they list Jones at the same size. They list Koyack at 6'5", 258, and Jones at 6'4", 255. But Jones looks, at least to me, Lauren, to my eye, more move tight end, get down the field guy, and Koyack more blocker guy. But yeah, it's conceivable. I do think they're going to have 4 tight ends. And I can tell you, the depth chart they pass out has both Swaim and O'Shaughnessy as starters. This depth chart has 2 tight ends, not 3 receivers on it. So O'Shaughnessy's on the team. Swaim obviously is on the team. We know Josh Oliver's on the team, right? So it just comes down to is the 4th guy, and I don't think they'll carry 5. So it just comes down to is it Koyack or is it Jones? We'll see. It's going to be interesting to hear. He's looked pretty good though. He looked good again yesterday. I can tell you that.
Good to hear. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk a little Gators football. We'll continue the Jaguars-Ravens conversation a little later in the show. But Florida does play Miami in 2 weeks. We'll get to that and a whole lot more. You're listening to The Frangie Show on a Kitchen and Flooring Design Center Wednesday on 1010XL.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings Studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
He played for Jimmy Johnson, Bill Cowher, and Tom Coughlin.
Learn from the past, but do not live in the past.
And he's sharing the best stories with you.
And that's now.
Have lunch with Leon Searcy in the noon hour on XL Primetime on 1010XL.
You want great barbecue? You want Bono's. Best barbecue around. Brooks and I have our planning meetings every Monday, and we plan the week while eating that great Bono's barbecue. Man, is it good stuff. Brooks gets that salad, barbecue salad. I get that all dark meat chicken and green beans, and is it good. If you want great barbecue, you want Bono's. 15 locations in town. Fast, friendly service, clean family restaurants, and just great barbecue. A legend in Jacksonville. If you want great barbecue, your choice is easy. You want Bono's.
This is Peppermint Patty. We know you work hard, and we have the truck you need. You need to check out March Motors on Atlantic Boulevard or online at marchmotors.com. Even if you've had credit problems in the past, because at March Motors, remember, good credit, bad credit, we don't care.
Regency Electric Company seeks electricians and foremen with great benefits like paid vacation, paid holidays, paid life insurance with health, dental, vision, company match 401k plus end-of-the-year bonus. Call 485-4096, RegencyElectric.com.
Gentlemen, discover the new medical treatment that Viagra doesn't want you to know about. I'm Bradley I with Synergenics Elite Health, and we offer GainsWave. It's a simple 20-minute in-office procedure. GainsWave is non-invasive, and it restores the poor blood flow that causes ED. Stop popping pills and scheduling intimacy. Call 904-500-5500. Consultations are free. Mention this radio station for $150 off your first treatment. Call Synergenics Elite Health at 904-500-5500 to learn about the GainsWave ED treatment today.
If you're a skilled or unskilled worker yearning to make more money, then listen up, because All Purpose Staffing is looking for you. Lauren Brooks here for All Purpose Staffing, where employees always make more than minimum wage. All Purpose Staffing is filling positions right now for general helpers, carpenters, painters, electricians, roofing, landscaping, and more. Full and part-time work available. Call All Purpose Staffing today at 904-219-1515. That's 219-1515 to land that better job today.
Just a little bit dangerous. 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance painting, Mavis Discount Tire.
We've been saving people money for over 50 years. Now at Mavis Discount Tire, save even more. Right now, get up to $100 back on 4 select Goodyear tires. You always save on tires at Mavis Discount Tire. Visit MavisTire.com to find a store near you.
Mavis Discount Tire, America's discount tire store.
Legal and other restrictions apply. See stores for rebate details.
Hacker here for Blue Chew and BlueChew.com. What is Blue Chew? Well, Blue Chew is the first chewable performance enhancement for the bedroom. And the great thing about chewables, they can work up to twice as fast than regular pills. Guys, when you go to BlueChew.com, your physician consult is absolutely free. It only takes a few minutes to connect with a BlueChew.com affiliated physician. And if you qualify, guys, you get prescribed online quickly. One of the best things about Blue Chew, no awkward doctor visits, no trips to the pharmacy. That's because BlueChew.com will send you Blue Chew directly to your front door in discreet packaging. Guys, trust me. Go to BlueChew.com and our promo code JAX, that's J-A-X. When you do that, your first order of Blue Chew is free with only $5 shipping. Get your confidence back, gentlemen, and get Blue Chew at BlueChew.com. Remember to enter promo code JAX.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Campbell here, serial entrepreneur. Here's what our payroll customer, Laura, thinks about us.
Patriot Software and their amazing team are a crucial part of our business. They handle the details of payroll and tax payments, so we can focus on delivering exceptional customer service to our own clients. Patriot's payroll is affordable, easy to use, and it keeps us organized. They're receptive to their customers and strive to demonstrate that each day. Without a doubt, we will be using their payroll services for many years to come. Thank you, Patriot Software. 5 stars.
Go to PatriotSoftware.com to get your payroll pricing for up to 100 employees. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of payroll processing free. That's PatriotSoftware.com.
PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Let's have lunch with Leon.
Got any fried chicken?
Former Jacksonville Pro Bowler Leon Searcy is serving up lunch on XL Primetime.
Weekdays from noon till 1:30. Brought to you by Wingstop.
Now I'm really hungry.
On 1010XL.
I think overall, I'm not concerned that we're behind. You know, it's just at positions, and then what we have to do is make sure we are accelerating guys that. There's guys that are probably going to have to play sooner than they normally would. You'd want them to have to be ready to play. We have to accelerate to make sure those guys are ready to go.
That is Florida Gators head coach Dan Mullen. Welcome back to the Frangie Show on the Kitchen and Flooring Design Center Wednesday as the Gators take on the Canes in just a few weeks. Frank, how was your dinner last night?
I'm getting excited about that. The dinner was phenomenal. I went to Jimmy's Seafood. See, we went to that LP Steamers the night before.
Yes.
And we thought it was really good. Logman found it, one of his buddies up here. But, then 7 trillion people on Twitter told me I had to go to Jimmy's, right? Well, we had to oblige, and so I was buying last night, so we wound up going to Jimmy's, and it was absolutely spectacular. I talked to Hayden Hurst for a while yesterday, and that's his place, his hangout, right? So everybody said you got to go to to Jimmy's. So we went to Jimmy's last night. And we ate in Baselli. By the way, I said this on the morning show. Baselli should be in the Hall of Fame. If there was an eating Hall of Fame, he'd have his own wing, just so you know.
With chicken wings.
There's nothing like it. He'd have his own city, his own province. But I got to tell you the story, okay? So the show's over yesterday, and I'm going to go get a workout in and then go to dinner last night, right? And so Baselli, I text Baselli, let's leave at about 7:30 or whatever. He goes, well, let's go earlier. I said, I don't want to go earlier. I'm going to go work out. He says, all right, I'll come work out with you. So Baselli comes into the workout room, right? Now, he's still in his Jaguar gear that he wore out to practice. His hair is all muffed. He looks like he'd been taking a nap or something, right? So he walks in here, and he goes, I said, "What'd you do? Take a nap?" He said, "Nah, I was in the Yankees clubhouse." I said, "You were in the Yankees clubhouse?" He said, "Well, I was in Aaron's office, but I went through the clubhouse." I said, "Aaron, like, I don't know, Aaron Boone?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "You got to go through the clubhouse to get to Aaron's office, which is in the clubhouse." So I'm like, "You were in Aaron Boone's office in the clubhouse?" He said, "Yeah, we were buddies in college. We hung out a lot." So Doug was going over there. Doug's a big Yankees fan. Hayes, you knew that. So we're going over there, and so Doug wanted to go to the clubhouse, so he's talking to all the guys. I went and hung out with Aaron. I said, "Just nice." "Yeah, for a little while. We got caught up. It didn't take long to get caught up." I said, "You talked to any players?" He said, "Aaron Judge wanted to meet me. He waited outside for about 5 minutes, but I was in Aaron's office too long, and I didn't have time for him." Really?
What a life.
You don't have time for Aaron Judge? Really? Yeah. I said, "That's it? And then you just came back here with your must hair and you're going to work out and then we're going to go to dinner?" He said, "Yeah, pretty much." Look, my sweet mom, God rest her soul, said you shouldn't hate anybody, right? Isn't that right? Okay? We shouldn't hate him. I hate Baselli. Can I say that publicly? Is anyone? I hate Baselli. Just so y'all know, I hate Baselli. I told him, I said, "I hate you." How about that? How's that night like last night?
That's
you go to the Yankees clubhouse and you're hanging out with Aaron Boone in his office. Aaron Judge wants to come say hello because he's a big fan, and Tony gets out there too late and Aaron's out taking BP. Oh, that's my day.
And
So
everybody's in a great mood because the Yankees have won 7 straight and are 9 games up. So not only is it really cool, but they're all excited and happy and loose and
right. And he said there's all smiles. Well, I guess they are smiles. Aaron Judge probably hit 4 home runs last night while we were talking, while we were at dinner. So anyway, that's a true story. He went over to the Yankees clubhouse and he and Doug were just kind of hanging out in there, and he and Aaron Boone were. How about that? I said, can you send a brother a text? Really? It's a block from the hotel, for God's sake.
Is there a backstory on why Judge would want to meet Baselli?
I don't know. He said Judge is a fan and wanted to meet. I said, you couldn't stop talking to Aaron Boone, your frat buddy, for 5 minutes to go, or 2 minutes to go say hello to Aaron Judge? He said, "I should have. I realized afterwards I should have, but I just got tied up, and we were telling stories, and the next thing I know, Aaron was gone." It's Aaron Judge, for God's sake. Anyway,
that's when I would be like, "And then you want to hang out with me?"
Well, you know what? He did, but I didn't want to hang out with him. You know why, Lauren? Because I hate him. Okay, you shouldn't hate people. He's the only Baselli's the only person I hate, but I hate him. So there.
Well, I think he should have taken the time to meet Judge, and then they should have gotten a picture side by side so we could contrast and compare.
Yeah, and by the way, they're about to say, I told you, CC Sabathia and Baselli and Cam were all talking. They're all the same guy. Okay, I don't know if Cam or Baselli can throw it 97 with a little cut, but they all look like they can play offensive tackle, just so you know. So that was my night. Yeah, we had a great night last night. I was mad at Baselli. I didn't talk to him for the first time.
I heard Whitey Ford wanted to meet Tony, but he didn't have time for him.
Ain't that amazing? That's what I'm saying. Aaron Judge wants to talk to you. Go talk to Aaron Judge. I'm sure you're talking about the kegger that you and Booney had back in the day, right? But you can't walk away from that for 5 minutes. Unbelievable.
Well, so what I need to know is if you had Maryland blue crab 2 nights ago, what did you have at Jimmy's Seafood last night? Because you're not that big of a seafood person.
Well, I'm not. And the funny thing was, Baselli said, "I'm not going anywhere where I've got to cut it open." Okay? He said, he told the waiter guy, he says, "Here's my idea of peel and eat shrimp. You peel it and I eat it." That's hilarious. And the guy said, "All right, sounds good." So we get in there.
That's not
and they bring in. Yeah, and we walk in. The minute we walk in there, we're looking at the menu and we're trying. I said, "What are you going to have?" I don't know. And JP Shatter went with us. So it was me and Tony and JP. And he, "What are you going to have?" I'm going to have this. And I'm going to have this. We're all talking. And all of a sudden, Tony, right before anybody can order, Tony looks at the waiter and goes, "Hey, do you have anything where you can just bring us a big tray of everything?" That's what he said. And the guy said, "Yeah." So you know what he brought us, Lauren? A big tray of everything. There was shrimp cocktail. There were oysters. There were crab cakes. Whatever you could possibly have.
That's right up my alley.
Yeah. Let me tell. I told my wife this last night. Let me tell you how much seafood we ate last night. My weakness in the world is dessert. You guys know me. That's my weakness. Now, they have all these desserts in the world. The world is full of desserts. That's the beautiful thing about the world is it has desserts. My 2 favorite desserts in the world are carrot cake and bread pudding. They're my weakness. You could give me a piece of carrot cake and some bread pudding, you get anything out of it.
What about white chocolate macadamia nut cookies?
They're third. They're right up there with it.
Okay.
So I look at, so we're stuffed. We can't move. and we're all trying to stand up to get to the Uber. We can't stand up, and we're getting ready to stand up, and Baselli looks at the guy and goes, "Hey, can you bring the dessert menu?" I said, "How can you bring a dessert menu? You just stuffed yourself for 2.5 hours." So they bring it out. They had carrot cake and caramel bread pudding. And I ate neither, Lauren, because I was too stuffed. That gives you an idea how much food. That's how much food we ate. I couldn't order.
That is very impressive. All right,
and I hate Baselli. I hate Baselli. Just so you know.
Let's get into a different line of hatred. Florida takes on Miami August 24th in Orlando at Camping World Stadium. I have to admit I'm starting to get a little nervous with a few of the things that are going on with Florida's program. It's not doom and gloom by any means, but Florida has lost another cornerback in redshirt junior C.J. McWilliams, and Mullen is now at his press conference saying he really needs alpha dogs. The last alpha dog Florida had was Jared Davis. Hayes and I kind of discussed that yesterday. Should I be as nervous as I am?
Well, I think Florida's team is going to be fine. This is a big game. For Florida, this is a monumental game. You can't get a ticket. And because it's the one game, see, what college football fans have to decide is, every week, do I go to the Gator game or whoever I root for, or do I stay home and watch Florida on TV, because everything's on TV now, and the SEC Network games and the ESPNU games are produced just as well as the CBS games, right? So there's no real difference. So my TV's bigger than ever. My TV is 96 inches, and it cost me $80 at Walmart. So you get these big TVs, and it's beautiful picture, and all the broadcasts are good. So do I go to my Gator game and watch this, or do I sit home and watch the Gators on TV and also watch LSU, Texas, and Georgia, Notre Dame, whoever else is playing, right? That week in and week out, that's the dilemma. Well, there's no dilemma for this game. There's no other games. So I think Hawaii's playing a game late at night, but for the most part, there's no other games. So you can't get a ticket to this thing. Weren't we talking about it last week, Lauren? You found the ticket, $180, $200 for get-ins, right? On the secondary market, something like that. I know you said it. So this is a big game. It's not a gigantic game for Miami. It would be a great get-them-on-the-map game, but Miami can lose this game and they're okay. Florida can't lose this game. They would back up so much. This would be backpedaling so badly from who they are. So the reason you're nervous, Florida's probably going to win. But know this, Miami's front seven on defense is really good, like really good. So in Florida, and Felipe Franks is better. He's not Danny Werfel yet, right? So this is not going to be 41-17. This is going to be 13-3 at the half, right? This is somebody drops a punt. That's going to be big in this game. So I think that's why you're nervous, is because Florida should win. Florida's probably better. Florida's probably going to win. But this game's getting a massive attention. It's going to be a packed house. Packed houses always make you more nervous. So, yeah, it's a big game for Florida. I think that's why you're nervous. Hayes, you nervous?
Yes, but it's more because of the history. Just because, look, I'm 43, and I can remember Florida beating Miami once. Now, they don't obviously play all that often, but to me, it's still, you see the U on the helmet, and I don't care who they have a quarterback. And, I mean, Miami, when they play Florida, they traditionally find a higher gear. And some Miami teams have been exquisite that have played Florida when you look at the last 5-6 games in the series. And this Miami team is not on that level. But I still think you're nervous just because of what you said, the stakes of the game for Florida, and just the fact that you haven't beaten these guys. And so, yeah, I think it's one of those that if you're a Gators fan, you take a 1-point win right now and not tee it up. You're not looking for style points. You're not looking for anybody to launch a Heisman campaign. You're looking for Dan Mullen to shake Manny Diaz's hand and go back in the locker room 1-0, and everything else is gravy. So I think Florida is better. I think Florida certainly has more balance. I think Dan Mullen will know what his former assistant wants to do defensively, and I think he'll know how to work around that. Maybe better than vice versa. So I think a lot of things favor Florida, but it is the first game. And, to your point, Frank, there could be, a key fumble here. Certainly there could be one team that gets 12 penalties and another team that gets 5, and that could be the difference in terms of, what gets called back, what gets negated. So to me, it's a nerve-wracking game. It's well-deserved of the hype it's going to receive, and it's going to be a phenomenal 3 hours, 4 hours for college football in the state. It's a spotlight game, and whoever wins it is going to get millions in exposure from it. So, yeah, it's about as big as it gets. I mean, it's the biggest. It makes the Michigan game in Dallas look like Tinker Toys, compared to what's at stake in this one.
And I wonder, is there a moral victory for Miami, so to speak, if they barely lose to Florida and figure out who their quarterback is throughout the process? I don't know. Frank, Dan Mullen said that the scrimmage recently was just solid. And really the the best play was one reporters, if they had been able to go, wouldn't have been all that excited about. And so I want to hear more glowing things. And I am also tired of hearing stories like what just came out with John Huggins and him choking the tutor allegedly of violence against women. That's the fourth time that we've seen something like that come out since Mullen's been there. And I don't blame Dan Mullen in any way, shape, or form. And I know he talks to his players about that. And his wife, Megan, is certainly very involved in the program. But it still makes me, all those things added up, it still makes me nervous.
All right, well, there's different issues. First issue, I do think Miami can get a moral victory out of this. The Canes don't want to admit that. The Canes don't want to say that. The Canes have dominated Florida so much in these recent times they've played that they don't want to believe that there's a potential for a moral victory, but I think there is. It's a first-year coach. Miami has had very few double-digit win seasons in the last 20 years or 15 years. So Miami needs to get Miami loses this thing 31-30 and finds its quarterback. Yes, that's a victory for Miami. Again, the Canes don't want to admit that, but that's where they are today. That's my opinion. So yeah, I think they can gain something. A different topic. What is going to be the fallout from this? Again, like it or not, people connect Mullen to Urban. That's the reality. Whether he likes it or not, that's the reality. And there have been a lot of accusations by women alleging crimes against women by men. Now, look. To his credit, other than Huggins, they're all gone. The Yelverton guy that was on his staff, gone. Brian Edwards, the defensive back, gone. The recruit, I don't even remember his name, Hayes, that was the really bad thing.
Jalen Jones.
No, not him. The other guy, the guy that never even got into school there. And there was a recruit. I don't know. Justin.
I know. The corner receiver.
Yeah. And then Jalen Jones, like you said, Lauren, the quarterback. Now, they're all gone. They ran them all off, which is good. But, yeah, you don't want to have too much of that. I mean, first of all, you don't ever want crimes against women in any, whether it's a fraternity or a football team or a basketball team. People should treat women properly. People should treat other people correctly. But beyond that, yeah, I think all teams, all college and professional teams of every sport need to be image conscious. Number one, you need people to do the right thing. It's not about image, it's about doing the right thing. But, yeah, I think that could be a danger area. I think it could be a danger area. I would like to see Dan Mullen step up and say, hold a special presser. Not just because he seems almost defensive and ducking a little bit because he's not sure how to handle this, all right? I almost think he should hold a special presser at some point and say, just so you guys know, this is not like it was in 07, 08, 09. It's not. It's not like that. I'll make sure. I was on that staff, and I'm going to make sure it's not like that. I'll do everything I can do. If we haven't had enough education, we're going to have more. If we're recruiting the wrong people, we're going to stop recruiting them. If we've got some of the wrong people in our program, if they're truly the wrong people, we're going to remove them as we've been doing. But I'm going to hold this special presser right now with everybody listening to make sure you know we're not headed back there. We're not headed back there, or let's put it this way. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure we're not headed back there. Because what do you guys think? Lauren, you brought it up, and I was thinking the same thing as you're planning the show, and we're planning the show today. It's naive to not talk about that topic because everybody's talking about that topic.
Yeah, and it's certainly a hot button both in college football and in the NFL. And I like the way Mullen has handled it. It's more just the fact that it keeps happening with players in his program, and he hasn't been there all that long. I think that's the hardest part for me to kind of keep reading about these stories. And again, I mean, to read that someone's choking a tutor, someone that's either paid to help you or volunteering to help you, that just really bothers me. That I don't care if she took your phone away. You don't need your phone that badly, I guess is how I feel on that. All right, when we come back, Hayes has a hammer time, and we'll keep it on Florida football. That is all next. You're listening to The Frangie Show on a Kitchen and Flooring Design Center Wednesday on 1010XL.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings' studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
25 years.
And the Jaguars are going to the playoffs.
Celebrate 25 years of Jaguars football.
Oh, my goodness.
With 1010XL.
Hey, you want to have a great night out? You want to go to Alhambra Theater and Dining. My goodness, what a summer they've had. People are still raving about that Little Mermaid show, and now you can't wait to go see Mamma Mia when it comes. Oh, my goodness, is it good stuff. Look, you want great musicals, a really fun, entertaining night where you'll be glowing and smiling walking out of the place? Well, you want Alhambra. Oh, by the way, a 3-course meal. You're going to love the food. Plenty of free on-site parking, easy to get to on Beach Boulevard off of 295, very close to the town center. It's a great experience. Call 641-1212. Or log on to alhambrajacks.com. Fun night out, great food, great entertainment. I'm telling you this, if you go, you're going to go back. You go to Alhambra one time, I guarantee you're going to go back. Call the number to get your tickets today at 641-1212 or log on to alhambrajacks.com.
I'm Stephen Crenshaw, team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars and the JU Dolphins. The Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute is proud to provide sports medicine services to not only the Jaguars and JU, but also the Sharks, Armada Soccer Club, the Axemen, Florida State College of Jacks, and the majority of local high schools and community events. With the most experienced, caring, and fellowship-trained specialists in orthopedics, it is no wonder why coaches, parents, and athletes choose JOI. Call JOI 2000 or visit JOI.net.
Baloo here for the Blue Crab Crab House, once again voted the #1 crab shack in Northeast Florida. What about Sundays over there? You kidding me? $1.95 Bloody Marys, mimosas as well, up until 5 o'clock. Alex always playing live music right there on the deck. The best seafood in Jacksonville, the Blue Crab Crab House. They've been in Jacksonville for 23 years, right there on Jillington Creek Road in San Jose. I'll see you at the Blue Crab Crab House.
Metro Router, you've probably heard of us. It's no accident that by providing same-day service, professional technicians, and the right equipment, hundreds of businesses count on us every week to keep their drains draining, their plumbing functioning, and their pumps pumping. I'm Tom McLaughlin, CEO of Metro Router, and if you are a current customer of ours, I want to thank you for your continued confidence in Metro Router. If you'd like to contact Metro Router, the plumbing service you can trust, we're on the web at metrorouter.com or just call 695-1911. Thank you.
John's Auto has been in Jacksonville for 32 years. That doesn't happen by cheating customers. At John's Auto, their reputation is in its work. Top quality for a lower price. It's full service at John's Auto. Brake, shocks, alignment, transmission, front end repair, tires, and they specialize in AC repair, whether it's the repair itself or getting your AC coolant checked. John's Auto, Arlington Road. Call 743-3857, a family-owned business.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Internal Revenue Service. When you owe a personal or business tax debt and can't pay, these 3 words bring feelings of fear and anxiety. Contact J. David Tax Law. Recently voted Best Tax Attorney in Jacksonville by Folio Weekly Readers and selected as a 2019 Ultimate Tax Attorney by the Jacksonville Business Journal. When you owe the IRS or Florida sales tax and can't pay, it's only a matter of time before tax liens, wage garnishments, or bank levies happen to you. Don't wait. Call J. David Tax Law for your no-cost consultation. We take the time to go through your tax problems step by step, explain your options, and how we will resolve your tax issue once and for all. See why J. David Tax Law was voted Best Tax Attorney in Jax. Call now for a no-cost consultation. 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777. Or find us on the web at jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
What's up, Jacksonville? This is Allie McDeal from both Best Bet Card Rooms in Jacksonville and Orange Park. How would you like to set sail on the allure of the seas and spend 7 days in the Eastern Caribbean? Best Bet Jacksonville is giving away 12 card player cruise packages throughout the month of August. The Daily High Hand winners will receive a luxurious cruise package for 2, which includes a $340 seat into the main event, plus $500 in spending cash. For more information, visit them on the web at bestbetjacks.com. Best Bet, where anybody can win.
You're shrimping the bed.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball presented by Community First. Tonight is Publix Corks and Forks and our final standard feed and seed dog day. Tomorrow's the last Budweiser Thirsty Thursday of the season, followed by Napa Auto Care Family Fireworks on Red Shirt Friday. Saturday, the first 2,000 fans get a free back-to-school lunch bag courtesy of Baptist Health. And we have a post-game Christian concert. Baptist Health Sunday Family Fun Day features an appearance from Dogman. For tickets, go to jackshrimp.com.
Frank Frangie here. Folks, are you tired of the same old sports photos for your league? Well, call my buddy Jeff Gump at Jacksonville Sports Photography. They offer cutting-edge, cool ideas like stadium banners for your seniors. No league is too big or too small. Football, cheerleading, baseball, soccer, you name it. Jack Sports Photography, they're the official photographer of Baker Sports High School Media Days. To find out more and to book your league or high school sport, go to jacksonvillesportsphotography.com or call 201-9773 today.
The Jacksonville Business Journal presents the Business of Sports Networking and Panel event Tuesday, August 20th at the TPC Sawgrass Clubhouse. Go to JacksonvilleBusinessJournal.com for program details and ticket information.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. Football season is finally here. The Jaguars kick off the preseason tomorrow night in Baltimore against the Ravens. Kickoff at 7:30. Our coverage here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM starts at 3 o'clock tomorrow with the Coastal Equipment Kickoff Show with Lauren Brooks, Hayes Carline, and Tony Smith. They will take you up to the Jaguars network programming. And this season, the Jaguars fans will now be able to stream the radio play-by-play broadcast with Frank Frangie, Tony Baselli, and Jeff Loggeman through the new Jaguars app. If you want to listen to the radio broadcast, just download the new Jaguars app. Today, the SEC announced the 2020 football schedule. The Florida-Georgia game in Jacksonville will be on Halloween in 2020. At 4:01, 84 degrees. Your time and temperature brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hammer time.
It's hammer time with our hammer, Hayes Carline, presented by the Law Office of Stephen Doty. Legal representation you can afford. Here's Hayes Carline.
Florida has released their 2020 football schedule, and it is an absolute abomination. I mean, I get that you can't play the big schools every single year, but this schedule is just atrocious. Florida's non-conference is Eastern Washington, who they open with on September 5th, 2020. Again, this is not this schedule. This is next year's schedule. South Alabama comes to town on September 19th.
Not to be confused with Southern Alabama,
That's right.
as is listed on the schedule.
That they released on, they have fixed that. New Mexico State on November 21st, and then Florida State. And again, it's hard. You know, Florida. They can't predict that Florida State's maybe going to hit a lull. But the thing that disturbs me is you know the SEC's rotation. So you're playing at Ole Miss this year in 2020, the year we're talking about. So anytime you've got that week of an SEC West opponent. Because as far as I know, Eli Manning isn't walking through the door for that game. So you'd like to think that the Gators should be able to go into Oxford and beat the Rebels. Florida really should try to get some sort of a matchup. I saw Georgia's playing Virginia to open 2020 in Atlanta. Tennessee and Oklahoma are playing. Texas and LSU will play the second of their home-and-home next year. You have Alabama playing Southern Cal on September 5th of 2020. So I think Florida should have looked at this, and I'm not exactly sure whether this is a Jeremy Foley or whether this is Scott Strickland, and it may be a mix. But when Florida's got LSU at home and they're going to Ole Miss, when that's your West rotation, step up the non-conference. I mean, it should not be 3 total cupcakes in Florida State, because really, if Florida State doesn't bounce back, if Willie Taggart struggles and he's going into year 3 as a, extreme hot seat candidate, or if he's just fired and it's a new guy, it's tough to expect much, even though that game's in Tallahassee. So Florida in 2020 really could be looking at a 2-game schedule, home against LSU, and then obviously Georgia here in Jacksonville. So The 2020 schedule, when you look at it for the Gators, I mean, it's got 11-1 written all over it, not because I think Florida could be elite, but because the competition is so dreadful.
Absolutely. That is Hammer Time, brought to you by the Law Office of Stephen Doty. Efficient and affordable legal representation. You can reach Stephen at 416-8328. All right, Frank, weigh in. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I did some research between now and the show when that came out, Hayes, because I want to know what happened. And how did they wind up with those teams? I think I want to know the rhyme behind the reason or the reason behind the rhyme, whatever, right? So I investigated, made a few calls. Turns out Keystone Heights, St. John's Country Day, and Yulee weren't available is what happened, okay? None of the three could play them. They wanted a 2-for-1 from Florida, and they couldn't get it. So I agree with you. It's amazing to me, and here's what's always – we were talking about this down – it was a bunch of us here, and we got laughing about this. I mean, the other day here in Baltimore. Look, coming up through this business, you know, we talked a lot about us that kind of came up in the business together. You guys have both heard me talk about it was so sad when we lost Don Banks because he came up in the business with us. And John Ozier was right behind us. And Pete Prisco and I came up in the business together. And Pat Dooley was a little older, but I wasn't that far behind him, you know. And we're always talking about how all of this, we were kind of the young guys, the young guns coming up in this business together, whether it was newspaper, radio, whatever, right? And that was kind of a cool thing for us. When Florida plays Texas in 2031, is that not when it is? Is it 31, right? 31, right?
I think so, yeah.
Plays I will turn 72 that day, Hayes. I can't be 72. I've always been the young guy, you know. But, I mean, I'll be 72 when they play. So we were laughing about that. We were all sitting around having a beer thinking, are we really going to be 70? Yeah, we're going to be 70. It's what happens after you're 69, you're 70. But it's just we're getting – I mean, they can schedule Texas 2031. But they can't find a Power 5 team to play next year. I'm with you. It's comical and astounding. I totally believe that.
Good news for you, Frank. It starts in 2030, the home and home.
Oh, I'll be in my 60s. No, I'll be 30. I'll be 70.
You'll be 70 or 71, right?
I'll turn 71 that year, but I'll be 70 for the game.
Meanwhile, Georgia in 2020. Georgia opens, like I mentioned, against Virginia, which is, look, at least they're trying in Atlanta.
Right.
But Georgia's West rotation in 2020 is at Alabama and home against Auburn. So,
yikes.
Dan Mullen, you might want to go ahead and win the East in 2020.
Yeah. Well, and I thought about this too seriously, I think. And, you know, a lot of the games that we just talked about are planned well in advance. But other games, you fill in. Well, my guess is what he's thinking is, and I'm serious about this, I think he's probably thinking Franks is out. All 6 receivers are out. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
4 of them are seniors. Four of them are seniors, okay? Jefferson and Cleveland and Hammond and Swain are seniors. They're out. I'm drawing a blank.
Grimes and Tony will leave early.
Yeah, okay, Grimes and Tony are both juniors. I'm drawing a blank on Grimes. Grimes is 6'5", 230. He's out early. You got to believe Tony's out early. So all 6 receivers are gone. Franks is gone. P. Ryan's gone. A bunch of those defense, Zuniga's gone. Both cornerbacks are gone. So I think that's probably what he's thinking. I get it. But it just looks so bad. I can remember this. And we've had this talk on our show, guys, when Walsh and Roberson and it might have been Christian Dreyer, all those guys left together, Florida had no players. So Billy scheduled the Florida basketball team had no players, so Billy scheduled a really weak preseason because he didn't want to get hammered, and he always would schedule his preseason, his pre-conference schedule based on how good his team was going to be. Do you remember this? Mm-hmm. So so because Roberson was gone and Walsh was gone, all these veteran guys were gone, that he had all these young guys who had never played, hadn't played a whole lot. Horford had played some, and most of them had played. Brewer had played a little. So he schedules this really weak schedule, and they go back-to-back, win back-to-back national championships. He obviously had a very good team. But I do remember he scheduled them very weak. You remember that first team started 17-0?
Yeah.
The first team to win the national title started 17-0. Baselli and I were laughing about this last night. Baselli and I were doing morning radio then. Okay, I was doing mornings with Baselli. And I can still remember him going, and they got ranked like 6th in the nation because they were 17-0. And Baselli goes, I know you're a Gator. This is on air. But you don't really think they're the sixth best team in the country. They just happen to play the weak schedule and they're 17-0. Well, no, they weren't the sixth best team in the country. They were the best team in the country because they won the whole thing. But I remember thinking that. So I'm not defending it, Hayes, because I agree with you. It's an embarrassment. But I'm thinking the reason Dan did this is he feels like if ever he's going to have a true rebuilding year at Florida, next year would probably be it.
Yeah, it's a cush schedule. I mean, the first 3 are at home, Eastern Washington, Kentucky, and then South Alabama. Then you go to Tennessee, and we'll see what the Vols are. Then you're back home for South Carolina and LSU, so they will play 5 of their first 6 games in the Swamp, and their road schedule is manageable. When you look at Tennessee, is obviously that's a beautiful venue, but you don't know how good they're going to be. Oxford, which is the gift of all gifts in the West rotation. Nashville for Vandy, which will be more Gator fans than Commodores. And then you've got Tallahassee, which a lot of Florida fans will go to. And again, if Florida State's not very good, that's not going to be a tough place to play. So anyway, 2020 is really, really favorable for Dan Mullen's team, even in a rebuilding year.
Well, if you look at the mascots, it looks much harder, Hayes. The Gators play the Eagles, the Jaguars, and the Aggies, okay? All right, Gibby's got some breaking news for us. Lay it on us.
I do, and Frank, this will be of certain relevance to you. You might know this already, but we have uniform combinations for tomorrow night. Are you ready for this? Do you know this already?
Yes, I do not know this.
The Jags tomorrow are going with white jerseys and black pants against the Ravens.
I would have guessed white on white, so I would have gotten that one wrong, okay?
Jaguars 45, Ravens 2.
And all the Ravens get in their first preseason contest is a safety. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. All right. I want to talk a little Jalen Ramsey when we get back. Sorry, what were you going to say, Frank?
No, I didn't know that. You know what? Breaking news to me. I asked a lot of questions, and the one I didn't ask is unis. Now I got unis. Well done, Gibster.
And I think you were supposed to say trousers, Gibby, to follow suit.
That's right.
Of one Ryan O'Halloran. But anyway, all right, we will talk a little Jalen Ramsey, one of Ryan O'Halloran's actually least favorite people to interview. That's coming up next on The Frangie Show on a Kitchen and Flooring Design Center Wednesday on 1010XL.
Now, the Lamb Rant, brought to you by the Best Bet Card Rooms at Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Let's get something straight from the get-go. These preseason NFL game get-togethers are exhibitions, not games, regardless of what NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell says. That doesn't mean they aren't important. That doesn't mean you shouldn't enjoy them. What they are intensified practices. They're preseason practices where the players can truly go all out, finish their hits, and not worry about sending somebody to the injured list. In the exhibition, the coaches get to see if the linemen can finish their blocks, if the running backs can get that extra yard, if the receivers can make plays knowing they're about to be hit, if the quarterback can make a throw when a rusher's in his face. Practicing against yourself can only take a team so far. These exhibitions allow coaches a complete look at their players, and that's why they're important.
Check out Uncle Dave's column at 1010XL.com on the homepage. Look for Lamb at Large.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings Studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Exciting news from Diamonds Direct. We're moving. Thanks to the way you've embraced our unique concept, we've totally outgrown our current showroom. So, we're upgrading. Moving to a brand new store that's 50% larger with an even larger selection to serve you. The new Diamonds Direct is opening very soon off Town Center Parkway just left of the Hyatt. It's a freestanding building with a stunning new showroom with incredible lake views and more fine jewelry than you've ever seen in one place. Same great people, same great industry-leading warranties and guarantees, same unbeatable values, but it's in a new, spacious, modern, and luxurious showroom with even more diamonds, more designer jewelry, more engagement ring mountings, more bands and bracelets and pendants and earrings. It's the best selection in all of Florida. At Diamonds Direct, our passion is celebrating love and new beginnings, and now we invite you to join us in celebrating this new chapter in our life. Diamonds Direct, upgrading to an all-new showroom opening soon off Town Center Parkway, just left of the Hyatt behind Firebirds.
Oldcastle APG, a leading manufacturer and supplier of concrete masonry, has an immediate opening for a night shift maintenance technician. Position offers great pay, medical, dental, and profit sharing. Apply at oldcastleapg.com, oldcastleapg.com.
Share the road, share the responsibility. Mayor Lenny Curry here reminding you that when in doubt, wait it out. Make eye contact with drivers before crossing the street. Drivers always slow down and yield to pedestrians. Be all in for safety. Be all in, Duval. Go to coj.net for more safety tips.
For the best price and service when it comes to your waste hauling and collecting, look no further than the A-Team at All-American Roll-Off and Recycling. Jet Prosser here, and let me tell you, you're not going to find an easier way to handle your project cleanups than calling in the A-Team at All-American. A J.B. Coxwell company, All-American Roll-Off and Recycling has brand new trucks and cans in all sizes to fit your project needs. No hidden fees. Count on the best price in town. When it comes to cleaning up when the job is done, go with the A-Team at All-American Roll-Off and Recycling. Visit us at all-americanrolloff.com.
Is pain interfering with your golf game? Hey Googans, Chris Kopp here with Premier Physical Therapy. Let me help you with the same expertise and swing technology the pros use. Schedule your eval today at premierptjax.com/golf. premierptjax.com/golf.
Want to lose weight this summer but struggle to find healthy, quick food options? Try Flame Broiler, a Korean-inspired fast food that offers a healthy choice of all-natural chicken, Angus beef, organic tofu, and veggies over steamed rice. Try one of our 4 Jacksonville locations today. Simply healthy, Flame Broiler.
The best of XL Primetime Replay is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, helping you be the best when you play.
I'm trying to come up with all sorts of alliterations. 7 Swaim intervention on the tight end position. Does that work?
Sure.
It's okay. It's close.
It's a little wordy.
It is a little wordy, but
just stick with the alliteration, not as wordy, because the spiral is viral.
I know the spiral is awesome. Viral.
Dave Benyon here with Zero Res. My sons and I just cleaned a massive church building, and wow, did the carpets look great when we were done. If your church, place of business, or office floors need cleaning, give Zero Res a call. That same great process that works in your home works at your work. If your workplace needs cleaning, tell the boss to call Zero Res. We'll be glad to come and do a free estimate. For the month of August only, we are offering 20% off all commercial carpet cleaning. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Stonecore, Jacksonville's #1 shop for pavers, stonework, outdoor kitchens, and fireplaces, now has the highest quality all-weather outdoor furniture. Many colors, many styles, and made in the USA. At Stonecore, Phillips Highway, 1 mile north of the Avenues Mall.
Pickett here. Guys, I got to tell you, it's true. We just had the new air conditioning system installed at the house. We are cooler with Bueller. That's right. My wife did some research. Trust me, we compared. And at the end of the day, Bueller Air Conditioning, the clear choice. They were on time, friendly, professional from start to finish. Our new system is awesome. Take it from me. If you need air conditioning help, I recommend Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
License CAC 1816716.
Bueller Air, stay cooler with Bueller.
The Truck Accident Law Firm is a national truck crash law firm based right here in Jacksonville, focused on making First Coast roads safer through zealous advocacy for families of those injured or killed by unsafe trucking. The Truck Accident Law Firm focuses exclusively on tractor trailer, bus, and commercial vehicle crashes. If someone you know is involved in a serious crash with a tractor trailer or commercial vehicle, contact your local truck crash specialists at truckcrashlaw.com. Non-attorney spokesperson.
In charge of an upcoming golf outing, class reunion, or group trip? Get your whole team in new logo shirts and hats. You name it, Hardball does it.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Turn up the heat on the Duval Honda hot seat. Buckle up for the inside stuff when players and NFL experts join Jaguars today from 10 to noon on 1010XL. Duval Honda. We deliver on price and service. We deliver to you. The closest Duval dealer is in your driveway.
It's a Kitchen and Flooring Design Center Wednesday on The Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Many builders, home remodelers, and assisted living communities in Jacksonville use the Kitchen and Flooring Design Center because they have brands like Timberlake, Daltile, Mohawk, Craftmade, Cambria, Legacy, and a whole lot more. Visit our friends at the Kitchen and Flooring Design Center, located on Southside Boulevard across from Tinseltown, or head to floorsandkitchen.com. Jaguars cornerback Jalen Ramsey went on a podcast with Titans tackle Taylor Lewan, which is interesting in and of itself, but of course Jalen is from that area. And he said there are 2 teams that he would be willing to play for. Hayes, Gibby, and Lauren in 1010XL headquarters. Frank on the road at Baltimore, 1010XL headquarters. Jalen says he would play for the Titans or the Raiders once they move to Las Vegas. Can I block the Titans, please?
I think in fairness to him, the question was, if you don't wind up staying in Jacksonville, where else would you want to play? And he said Nashville and Vegas, in large part because neither state has state income tax, as Florida doesn't have state income tax. I also think part of it's because he's from Nashville. And I think part of it's because Vegas is Vegas. Who doesn't want Vegas, right? Look, the Jaguars can turn this into a non-story. That's the bottom line. They can't make him sign it, but the Jaguars can offer him more money than he's ever going to get. He's going to make him set for life. If ever you were going to do that with somebody, this would be the guy, right? Whenever the time's right, they said it's not going to be this year, so it'll be next year. Look, you can make him play in the 5th year. You can franchise him a few times. You can keep him unhappily here, or which you will do, or you will just make him a deal that he can't not sign. And Hayes, don't you sense that if they're smart, this thing will never become a story? I get it with Ngakoue. He was a 3rd-round pick. He outplayed his contract. There's a little disagreement between them and him in terms of how valuable he is to the team. I don't think they're far apart, but they're apart. I don't sense any of that with Jalen. Do you?
I don't. I'm surprised with the Ngakoue thing, as I've mentioned, but as surprised as I am that Ngakoue's deal didn't get done, I would be floored if Jalen Ramsey isn't top priority in this. As soon as they are able to get it done, and I'm assuming that'll be pretty much right as the start of the new league year, I don't think there's any chance this goes into OTAs, mandatory minicamp, certainly not training camp. I think priority one will be signing him to a record deal. I mean, he'll be the top paid corner in NFL history, and really the only thing that we've got to work through is Jalen's camp. Are they going to look for Khalil Mack pass rusher money, or are they going to be content with being the top paid corner in NFL history, which is still a sizable gap between that and what you're seeing these edge rushers get? So, that'll be interesting to see the negotiation there. But there's no chance if it comes down to it, the Jaguars are going to give him what it takes to keep him here for the next 5 years, and I think he plays here another decade, assuming no massive health injuries. Jalen Ramsey's going to be a Jaguar. He's going to be in the Pride, and he's going to have an excellent chance to get to Canton if his career continues on the path it's on right now.
And to give people an idea of what the difference in those two contracts would be, Xavier Howard makes $15 million per year. He was signed to a 5-year deal. His total guaranteed money is $46 million. Khalil Mack, on the other hand, a little over $23 million a year for 5 years and over $90 million guaranteed. So certainly, to your point, Hayes, that is a vast difference in the contracts.
And I also think this too, Lauren. By the way, we have lightning here. In the event that I get struck in the middle of the program, make sure you get the show all the way to 6 o'clock and get all the commercials in, Lauren. Just so you make sure you do that. That'd be good.
We will certainly do that. But did you go outside of Rick Hope Ballou's hotel room?
No, I'm just looking out the window, and it is nasty. No, I'm not sitting out on the balcony.
That's what I was concerned of.
I'm not on the balcony.
Don't go outside if there's lightning.
Here's one thing that's very interesting about these. I think Jalen's going to be really involved in this. I don't get the sense that Unique is. I think Unique is like most NFL players. Let my agent handle this. You know what? Get a agent guy, call me when you need me. I think Unique knows that his weakness is he wants to play, and the agent is keeping him from taking a deal that the agent doesn't think is in his best interest. I think Jalen's going to be involved. I don't you get that sense that this will be Jalen is involved as just about any player has ever been in his own negotiation. That's my feel.
I would think so. He is a very smart guy, and I think he enjoys this part of it. I think one of the reasons he signed with Adidas is he probably talked to their branding and marketing experts and formulated a plan with them and wanted to be involved in some of that stuff. Yes, I think he's going to be heavily involved. Don't you, Hayes? I
think you can count on that. I think he will have a comment for every back and forth. So it should be a lot of fun if it drags on. But again, I would be surprised. It is a substantial gap between the top paid corner and really I think Jalen will look at also the Josh Norman deal, which is 3 years old now, 2 years, 3 years old. But that's where I think it gets interesting because I think the Jaguars would like to get him in at $18 million, which is still a considerable bump. I mean, normally when these deals get done and you give record money, it's only record money by a sliver. You don't usually see salaries just get really blown up in terms of superseding the current top shelf salary. Jalen's contract could certainly do that. It will be interesting to see how it goes. But I think Jalen Ramsey will sign. I think he'll see that he's getting well beyond the best money a corner's ever gotten. I'd be surprised if it drags on, but you never know. You never know what each side is looking to get out of it.
Our first Jaguars preseason game is tomorrow. Our coverage kicks off at 3 o'clock, and then you will be able to stream the game from the new Jaguars app. That's right, you'll hear Frank's call alongside Tony Baselli and Jeff Lageman. When we return, we will get into 5 NFL teams that will decline, according to ESPN's Bill Barnwell. Yesterday, we discussed the teams that will improve. Today, we're going the negative route. That is next on The Frangie Show on a Kitchen and Flooring Design Center Wednesday on 1010XL.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings Studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
High school football rocks the First Coast Saturday, August 24th with the Publix Bold City Showcase presented by Sonic. 3 marquee matchups back-to-back on 1010XL, live from Skinner Barco Stadium at the Bowl School. Lee versus Bartram Trail at 1. Atlantic Coast versus defending state champion Mandarin at 4. And University Christian Bowls at 7. FanFest opens at 11:30. Get tickets at jackshighschool912.com. That's 912.com.
Everybody else! Hey, listen up. Have you seen the all-new Toyota Supra? Beaver Toyota has one on its showroom floor, and we're going to auction it off. That's right, we're going to hold a public auction for this one-of-a-kind vehicle. But wait, there's more. Beaver Toyota will be donating every dollar over MSRP to support local schools and the charity of your choice. Did you know the very first 2020 Supra sold for $2.1 million? Let's break that record. Come show your support on August 24th and be a part of history. Don't make me come get you.
Regency Electric Company seeks electricians and foremen with great benefits like paid vacation, paid holidays, paid life insurance with health, dental, vision, company match 401k plus end of the year bonus. Call 485-4096, regencyelectric.com.
This year, make sure to secure your parking spot for the football season. Log on to tailgatorsparking.com. Football season begins August 15th with the Eagles, so let's get going. Remember to grab your parking spot for the Florida State game on August 31st against Boise State 2. Tailgaters Parking, just east of TIAA Bank Field, and now taking reservations for this year's games. Tailgaters Parking, safe and secure for all events. Log on today, tailgatorsparking.com.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Hi, this is attorney Chuck Farah. Did you know not all truck accidents are the truck driver's fault? Sometimes it's the shipper who improperly loaded the cargo. If faulty equipment is the cause, truck manufacturers or repair shops are responsible. Proving negligence and figuring out who pays what requires attorneys like ours who have experience handling truck accident cases. So call Farah and Farah at 396-5555, protecting you and your family.
Jacksonville.
Your home for the best Jags coverage. 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
There is one name synonymous with joint replacement excellence, and that name is Heekin of the Heekin Clinic. For 18 years, Dr. R. David Heekin and his staff have been the leader for treatment of hip and knee pain. Eliminating hip and knee pain through advanced surgical and non-surgical techniques has been Dr. Heekin's sole goal since retiring from the Army in 2001. If you're looking to ease your hip and knee pain, schedule an appointment today and call 328-5979 or visit HeekinClinic.com. That's HeekinClinic.com.
Word is out that Mavis Discount Tire has a huge selection of brand name tires at discount prices. But did you know that Mavis is also home to the $89 brake special? That's right, Mavis Discount Tire also offers discounted prices on brake services. Have front or rear premium quality Wagner brake pads installed for only $89.99. Yes, new brakes for $89.99 including labor. Come in today and save. Offer applies to most cars. Other fees may apply.
Welcome to Moe's! In a rush and don't have time to stop in? No problem. Moe's has you covered with Smart Drive-Thru, featuring touchscreen ordering, customized ordering, and the ability to save your fave orders, and reordering in 10 seconds flat on future pit stops. Check out Moe's drive-thru locations in Bartram Park, Town Center, and Brunswick, Georgia. Make the smart decision to stop by a Moe's Smart Drive-Thru today. Welcome to Moe's!
Hi, this is Joe Butler from Black Creek Outfitters. Why should you shop at Black Creek? Is it the great staff that is committed to giving you the highest level of service? Is it our events and classes to make sure your experience in the outdoors exceeds expectation? Is it because we are locally owned and operated and committed to Jacksonville? Or is it the locally shown pricing program where we make sure you get the best price? We want to make sure your experience in our store is the best it can possibly be. So whether you're headed to the mountains or out on the water, get in here before you get out there. Shop and buy local at Black Creek Outfitters.
Okay, listen up, team. They're out to test our reputation as the best plumber in Jacks, so we gotta play like the experts we are. When customers call with leaky faucets, broken water heaters, toilet repairs, broken pipes, or any other challenge, we'll give them a solution fast. Now, who are we?
Roland Reese Plumbing!
I can't hear you.
Roland Reese Plumbing!
Now that's what a winner sounds like.
Customers always win with Roland Reese Plumbing at PlumbingJacksonville.com.
From the locker room to the sideline.
All day, let's go!
No one knows the Jaguars like Johnny O. Oh, yeah. Hear Jaguars.com's John Osher on Jaguars Today. Brought to you by Florida Pump Service. We make water happen on 1010XL.
It's a Kitchen and Flooring Design Center Wednesday on The Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
You know, one thing I'm going to miss is Old Rock Thursday this week because we have the Jaguars game. No Old Rock Thursday.
For like a month, I think, right?
That's correct. That's correct. Yes.
How will Jacksonville deal with that? That's what I want to know.
How will I deal with it?
How will you do it? I just want to tell you guys, yesterday afternoon, I was telling Lauren this, it rained so hard. I mean, so hard that when I was talking to Suzanne on the phone, like 6:30, I couldn't hear her because the hail was hitting the window that hard. That's the storm we had. Jeez. When we went to dinner, Jimmy's Seafood's 4.5 miles from our hotel, Hayes. It took 40 minutes to get there because we saw three car accidents had been, really bad ones. And two, well, I say really bad, one really bad one too. But so it storms like crazy. We figured they're not going to play the baseball game. It stopped. Sun came out. The game was delayed an hour, and they played. And it was bizarre. And I know we're probably going to get to baseball in a minute, but did you see what happened to DJ Stewart last night? Did you guys see this story? I know we're trying to get to football. So, you know who DJ Stewart, for people that don't know, played at Bowles. Hayes, you know who DJ is. Mm-hmm. Wonderful football player. Went on to play at FSU. Great player for the Noles. In the Orioles chain. Has been called up before. Has been up and down. Went back down to AAA. Got banged up a little bit. They called him up yesterday, which is kind of cool because we're all in town. And it's Hayden Hurst is here. We got to visit with Hayden a little bit yesterday, former Bowles guy that plays for the Ravens. Now here comes DJ Stewart, former Bowles guy that plays for the Orioles. Gets called up last night. It's one of the damnedest things you'll ever see in baseball. Gibby, did you see it, Gib?
No, I just saw that he was placed on the IL with a concussion, but I didn't know what happened.
Let me tell you what happens. Yeah, last night he gets called up. He's racing for a ball playing left field, racing for a ball along the left field line, trips, just tripped and fell and slid, and when he stopped sliding, the ball hit him in the left temple. Now, it's just a routine fly ball. Just a routine fly ball, but he trips and falls to the ground, and the ball hits him in the left side of the head. Remember, he's got no batting helmet on now. You don't think of velocity, but a ball coming straight down has got some velocity. Hits him in the side of the head, tried to stay in the game, was dizzy, could not stay in the game. They took him out, and he's on the IL with a concussion. I've never seen anything like that. What a bizarre play.
I thought you were going to say he got hit with hail.
No, he didn't. But he got hit right in the side of the head with a baseball. It was really weird.
That is weird. Really peculiar. That's almost. That's terrible.
Yeah, first day up, and so they thought, okay, he just got hit inside the head, but he couldn't stay in the game, and then as Gibby said, went on the IL today after coming up for one day, which is kind of a weird story.
That is very strange. Well, we can keep it on baseball here and get to football in just a little bit because we've done a ton of football. Mike Trout turns 28 today, and I saw one article asking, is he the best ever to play because he has so many records by the time he is 28. But I feel like other than the offseason when we have that conversation annually of, is Mike Trout the best player in baseball nobody talks about? And, how can he become the face of baseball? Other than that, once the season starts, none of us ever really talk about him.
Yeah, well, you're right. And that's exactly right. Nobody talks about the guy, which is a shame, and he re-upped because he's such a loyal guy. He re-upped to play for however many more years on a team that nobody ever talks about. So people are going to continue to not talk about him. It's too early at 28 to be the best player of all time. Just to know how good you are, it's too early. You got to do more. But he's the best player now. He is and Yelich is right there with him. Gibby, I know you're torn on the two, and Yelich is a great, great player too, boy. But Mike Trout, the way he runs, I think I saw his projections the other day. He's on pace for 57 bombs, 140 ribs, and he's hitting 340, something like that. Gibby, am I something like that, right? Somewhere thereabouts.
Yeah, he's had. I mean, think about all the great years that Mike Trout has had in his career. This is one of the great years that he's having right now.
And it's a shame, and we always talk about this. I know not everybody loves dynasties. People want parity. Look, my team is the bottom of the bottom in terms of salary, payroll, and success and whatnot. But this would still be a better story if Mike Trout played for a team that people paid attention to. This would be a better story if he played for the Cubs, the Cardinals, the Red Sox, the Yankees, whoever. It just would. And but it's a shame. He is a great, great, great player. There's nothing he can't do. He's got 6 tools, man. He's got to have something we haven't figured out yet. He does so well. He is a really, really great player.
He absolutely is, but it does feel like he kind of gets lost. And, I mean, when you look at some of the categories that he's in, it's ridiculous. I mean, he's, amongst company like Mickey Mantle and other guys who, we talk about as far as being the best to ever play the game.
Let me read what he's on pace for. You ready for this? He's on pace for 54 home runs, 125 RBI, 124 runs scored, 123 walks, 92 extra base hits. His WAR right now, which is wins above replacement, which people say, I'm not a new metrics guy, but people say it is the best stat to talk about how good a player you are. They say WAR is the number one stat, wins above replacement.
Right.
His is 7.6, leads the majors. You ready for this? The next highest is Christian Yelich at 6.4, a full point behind him. A full win behind him. Think about that now. Yelich at 6.4 and Bellinger at 6.3 are the next two. That's how good this guy is. He's a full 10%, 20% ahead of those other two guys. That's what a great player Mike Trout is.
And he's had 12 at-bats in the playoffs in his career.
How about that? 12. How about, I didn't know the stat, Hayes, but how about 12? And I'm telling you, that's the shame of it. In a team sport, no matter how great you are, you have to have somebody great around you. Archie Manning, I've told you guys this story before. Archie Manning will never get the praise that Peyton and Eli have because Peyton and Eli have rings, 2 apiece. Archie Manning was a great player in an era where they didn't throw the football that much, but he was always on awful teams, always. So I'm not saying Archie Manning was the best player in the sport like Mike Trout is, but he's a perfect example of really good player, before free agency, by the way. He couldn't just pick and go, right? Really good player that never wound up on a good team, and that's in Mike Trout. 12 at-bats. I didn't know that. 12 at-bats in the postseason. Wow, that's a shame.
Really, it is really sad. Gibby, the Braves ended up winning 11-4 today? Or
well,
it's not over yet?
No,
right?
it's the Braves bullpen is in, so it's not over yet. They have just given up a single to Eddie Rosario, so it's there. They've still got a 7-run lead, but I'm not holding my breath. Actually, I probably am holding my breath.
You can't do that and talk.
Wow, I think they just, as I'm sitting here watching this, Miguel Sano just hit a 3-run bomb, so it's now 11-7 in the ninth. It's amazing how bad this bullpen is, even given the moves that they've made. And this is not a new acquisition. Tomlin is not a new acquisition. He's been with the team, but it's amazing how they – I mean, look, they can score. The Braves can score with anybody. It's just if they don't score, the bullpen will give it up, and they've shown that.
Yeah, I saw this stat the other day or today. Was it Nelson Cruz maybe? I'm going to get the player wrong.
Yeah, he's having an unreal year.
Has he had 2-3 home run games in a week? Is that who it is? Is he the one that did that?
Yeah, he's done that. Yeah, and he's about 40 years old now.
Okay, he's at. If you want to know how juiced the ball is, he'd never had a 3 home run game. He now had 2 home run games in a week, and that's something that Mays and Mantle never did. Okay, just so you know, just to put it in perspective, Mays and Mantle never did, and I think Aaron might have done it once. Nelson freaking Cruz has done it twice in 7 days. Now the ball's not juiced.
Well, I know there's researchers out there, scientists, that are really trying to figure it out. I did read that there's less drag on the ball, but they can't figure out what has led to the fact that there's less drag on the ball. And by the way, finally, when it comes to baseball, the Mets have won 6 in a row. What in the world is happening in New York?
9 out of 10. And part of it is they're playing lousy teams, mine among them. But they're playing. I told you, they said, you know what? Why don't we go for this? But I looked at the standings today. Boy, they got a big climb, man. They got a big climb, not only in their own division. There's enough good National League teams. There's just too many teams to climb in that league. So even though they got it to 500, it's a fun story, but they're not climbing past all those teams. So they spent a lot of equity building a team that's not going to have much to show for it, I think.
Here's one piece of evidence, excuse me, Frank, that the ball is juiced.
Yep.
The Twins have 8 players with at least 16 home runs each.
And see, that's stupid. And I mean, and we're in it's early August. How about that? The regular season, by the way, the regular season goes till September 30th. September 30th. Okay, so we've got almost 2 full months left in the regular season. And they've got 8 guys with 16 bombs. Think about that stat for a second. That's the best one of all. Because you got to assume all those guys are going to hit 20, right? Some will hit 25.
Sure.
But they're all going to hit 20. Well, you can't have 8 guys with 20 home runs. You can't do that. That stat alone, that's worse than Hunter Pence hitting the top of the damn foul pole, all right? That stat alone tells you everything you need to know. 8 guys. Now, I will say this. They saw it coming, so they went out and got a bunch of bombers. That's why when I told Lauren, I told you this yesterday, what's amazing about the Tampa Bay Rays having 65 wins or whatever it is, they've done it without a bunch of great pitchers, without a bomber, and they've still done it, which is pretty amazing, really is. But the Twins went out and got bombers. The reason the Twins are so good, they said, screw it, we'll just go out and get a bunch of bombers, one of whom is C.J. Cron, who probably still should be on the Rays, and he's one of their bombers. So, Interesting stuff.
All right, we will get it back to football and say goodbye to Frank. Coming up next, you'll listen to The Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings Studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
1010XL remembers the summer movie blockbusters.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Run, Forrest, run! Run, Forrest!
From that day on, if I was going somewhere, I was
1010XL.
There is only one summer and only one Honda Summer Spectacular event. We are pleased to announce that every Honda model is on sale during this event. Accord, Civic, CR-V, Pilot, Ridgeline, Fit, HR-V, and even the all-new Passport. If Honda makes it, it is on sale. The only thing better than summer, a Honda Summer Spectacular event going on now at your local Honda dealer. Don't miss it.
Honda, I like it. Oh yeah, I like it.
Does your company have plenty of projects lined up, but you're having trouble finding qualified employees? Then you need All-Purpose Staffing. Lauren Brooks here. Let All-Purpose Staffing handle the hiring process for you by qualifying each employee, allowing you to focus on your operations and stay on schedule. From light industrial personnel to skilled personnel to administrative staff, All-Purpose Staffing worked hard to find you the right employee for the job. Call All-Purpose Staffing today at 904-219-1515. That's 904-219-1515.
Whatever you think about global warming, we're sure about summer warming. Old windows cost a lot of money in higher AC bills. American Window Products will replace your old windows with Eastern Architectural Systems and save you the money that's slipping through the cracks. As a 1010XL listener, you'll get a free Energy Star glass package and the best window installation available at AmericanWindowProducts.com. AmericanWindowProducts.com.
American Window.
Because we speak your language. 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Hacker here for Blue Chew and BlueChew.com. Gentlemen, have you lost confidence when it comes to the bedroom? Well, it can happen to the best of us, right? Well, let me fill you in on something that will get your confidence back, and that's Blue Chew. What is Blue Chew? Well, Blue Chew is the first chewable performance enhancement for the bedroom. And the great thing about chewables, they can work up to twice as fast than regular pills. Guys, at BlueChew.com, your online physician consult is absolutely free. It only takes a few minutes to connect with a BlueChew.com affiliated physician. And if you qualify, you get prescribed online quickly. One of the best parts, no trips to the doctor or the pharmacy. That's because Blue Chew is sent directly to your front door in discreet packaging. Gentlemen, go to BlueChew.com, enter promo code JAX. That's JAX. When you do that, your first order of Blue Chew is free with only $5 shipping. Trust me, gentlemen. Go to BlueChew.com, enter promo code JAX, that's JAX, and get your confidence back. And get it back with Blue Chew.
Do you remember the freedom of being debt-free? If you're overwhelmed by heavy debt, you may have forgotten what life can be like when you're under less pressure. Financial freedom is possible, and bankruptcy can help. I'm Don Dufresne. At the law offices of Parker & Dufresne, we offer a fast-file bankruptcy option with no money down. We've helped thousands in our community find a solution to their excessive debt. Visit jaxlawcenter.com for a free consultation. Offices Jacksonville.
Baloo here for the Blue Crab Crab House, once again voted the #1 crab shack in Northeast Florida. What about Sundays over there? You kidding me? $1.95 Bloody Marys, mimosas as well, up until 5 o'clock. Alex always playing live music right there on the deck. The best seafood in Jacksonville, the Blue Crab Crab House. They've been in Jacksonville for 23 years, right there on Julington Creek Road in San Jose. I'll see you at the Blue Crab Crab House.
Exciting news from Diamonds Direct. We're moving. Thanks to the way you've embraced our unique concept, we've totally outgrown our current showroom. So, we're upgrading. Moving to a brand new store that's 50% larger with an even larger selection to serve you. The new Diamonds Direct is opening very soon off Town Center Parkway just left of the Hyatt. It's a freestanding building with a stunning new showroom with incredible lake views and more fine jewelry than you've ever seen in one place. Same great people, same great industry-leading warranties and guarantees, same unbeatable values, but it's in a new, spacious, modern, and luxurious showroom with even more diamonds, more designer jewelry, more engagement ring mountings, more bands and bracelets and pendants and earrings. It's the best selection in all of Florida. At Diamonds Direct, our passion is celebrating love and new beginnings, and now we invite you to join us in celebrating this new chapter in our life. Diamonds Direct, upgrading to an all-new showroom opening soon off Town Center Parkway, just left of the Hyatt behind Firebirds.
Kick off your week with Breakfast with Boselli. Coffee. Tony Boselli, Dan Hicken, and Jeff Prosser. Brought to you by Claude Nolan Cadillac and ClaudeNolanCadillac.com. Breakfast provided by Chick-fil-A. Monday morning on 1010XL.
It's a Kitchen and Flooring Design Center Wednesday on The Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Thanks to our friends at the Kitchen and Flooring Design Center. If you want to update your closets like Frank just did, head to floorsandkitchen.com or stop by the showroom with brand new displays located on Southside Boulevard across from Tinseltown. How are your closets, Frank?
Boy, they're great. I tell you what, mine and Suzanne's, our closets, I never knew how much stuff I had. We got rid of a lot of stuff, but it's so much more organized. They do a great job. They are our friends Mike and Renee and the folks over there at Kitchen and Flooring. I'm glad you brought it up. The closet, I mean, we never had like organized closets, right? We just bought the closets were in the house. Lauren, you can't imagine. If you've ever thought about getting a closet done, people ought to do this, because we never even thought about it until Mike said, why don't you give it a try? And boy, am I glad we did it. It is absolutely fantastic. We love them. Absolutely love them.
Now you can become an Instagram influencer, Frank, because everyone on that platform has really nice closets, enviable closets. So
how about that? So I'm headed to the gram is what you're telling me, okay?
Yes,
I'm a guy
we're
that can
headed
pull
to
off the
more
gram.
followers on the gram. All right, we're going to have to go through this pretty quickly. ESPN's Bill Barnwell has 5 teams that he predicts will decline. I'm going to throw you the first 2 right off the bat and tell you I disagree, and that would be the Rams and the New Orleans Saints, both of whom went 13-3 last year. Do either of y'all, and okay, they might win 12 games instead of 13, but when I think decline, I think not making the playoffs. Either of y'all see decline out of either of those teams?
Yeah, I think, and Hayes jump in here, I think what he's saying is they won't be as enormously good as last year. Anybody that thinks they won't have good teams is dumb. So I think he's probably saying they're more like a 10-win team. I think they're both going to be I think the Rams are really going to be good. I think they're both going to be very good.
I don't know how you stop either team. I mean, I think Sean McVay learned his lesson in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, so he's going to go back to that. We're going to get up to the line, and then I'm going to call the play before the communication in the helmet cuts off. And there's no reason to think that Jared Goff is going to regress. He should start entering really not even really the peak yet, but he should certainly be on a trend where he's continuing to move upward. Cooper Kupp returns from a torn ACL. He's going to be a guy who catches 90 passes. Their receivers are just so versatile. And, unless you think Todd Gurley is just done, and I don't think he's done, it's hard to see the offense taking a big step back, and they still have Wade Phillips, who is going to figure out and certainly has great talent to work with anyway, but I don't see it for the Rams falling off at all. The Saints, it's more, I guess it's, does Father Time catch Drew Brees? But if you're telling me that Drew Brees remains elite and there's really little sign to suggest that he isn't, I don't see it. I think New Orleans, the roster they have, it's very balanced. They used to be all offense. Now they've got a defense to go along with it. I don't think either one of those two slow down at all.
A popular kind of Super Bowl pick, the Chargers went 12-4 last year. I don't see the Chargers falling off either. And if anything, I actually see the Chargers potentially improving by a game for that. What about y'all?
I don't love them as much as everybody else does. I think they're good. 12-4, I don't think they're going to be better than that. If there's anything, if of the 3 you gave me so far, they're the most likely to win fewer games than they did last year. I don't think Hayes agrees. I think Hayes likes them. But for me, that wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, I think they're going to be I think they're still going to remain one of the contenders in the AFC. So I don't think there's going to be a decline. I think Hunter Henry missed the entire year last year, the tight end. I think you're going to see him have a real impact. The Melvin Gordon holdout is a concern because if they do go ahead and if they were to trade him or if he does miss real games, then he's such a talented player that I think that hurts. But defensively, I really like what they've got in terms of rush and cover. So it's hard for me to see the Chargers falling back. So I don't know about 12-4, but I certainly think they're comfortably in the playoffs. They may end up in that odd situation where you go 11-5 and have a better record than a couple of the division winners, yet you're still the 5 seed because the Chiefs went 12-4 and won the West. And so I could see it being that kind of a deal for the Chargers. They routinely seemingly get snake bit by how the seeding works in the playoffs, but I'll be surprised if they're not there.
All right, the other two are the Cowboys and the Dolphins. Hayes and I can discuss them a little later. But before we say goodbye to you, Frank, give us your final thoughts on the Jacksonville Jaguars going up against the Baltimore Ravens tomorrow night.
Yeah, just a few thoughts. Number one, first of all, Baltimore. Have you guys been to Baltimore much? Hayes, have you been up here for games?
I was there for the Doomerville face mask game.
Okay.
And I don't think I've ever been there on a personal trip. So, yeah, I've been there, but briefly.
Lauren, have you been here?
I've been once for a wedding.
I came once in and out. I was making a sales call to Under Armour. Literally came in with Josh Baker and Gino Toretta. We were here for a day. For a Friday, watched games over the weekend, and then it was the Rocco Media at Tiger Monday at the U.S. Open when we was limping around. Remember that? That was 08. It's the only time I'd ever been here, but I didn't truly appreciate it. I've now been in Inner Harbor for 3 days. What a beautiful place this is. They've done a great job. everything in Baltimore is kind of built around this harbor. Everything. I mean, and it is. I walked the whole thing today. It is a spectacular little downtown area. So I've enjoyed it a great deal. Lauren, I'm looking forward to the game. Again, the Jags will probably not announce who's playing and who's not, nor will the Ravens. So we'll all be guessing until then. But I would be surprised if any of the principals played for the Jags. The vibe I get is you've got next week and the week after that to see what you've got with your starters. There's a lot of veterans on this team. Calais and Nick Foles among them, some of the receivers. So I'd be surprised if you see players of significance. Again, they could surprise us. They could play them all tomorrow, and we're all wrong. But if I'm guessing, I would guess that's probably not the case. So we're going to see Gardner Minshew. That I do know. It's going to be fun watching the rookies. I don't know about Josh Allen, but I'll bet you he plays. Wouldn't you think? I'll bet you Jawan Taylor plays. So I think some of the young guys that you're excited about on draft day, you get to see tomorrow. I'm excited about seeing how far along they are. I'm really excited about the next game when I think a lot of the guys are going to be playing. But it's been a great I'm telling you now, it's been a great 2 days up here. Seeing the Jaguars, what we started the show with, seeing the Jaguars throw the football with that kind of efficiency, even in practice, even against air, excites me because I know what they've got on defense. That part I do know. And seeing them look like they may have something on offense, too, to go with it. It should be an exciting season. I'm always a glasses half full guy, but that's it. I'm going to try and stay out of the rain tonight. I don't know if I'm going to baseball or not because it looks like there's a monsoon out here. It's hard to play baseball on a monsoon. It's been kind of a fun trip, though. And I don't have to go eat with Baselli again, so that's a win because I hate him.
Well, hopefully the storm moves along and you do get to catch some baseball. And maybe you'll even get to meet Aaron Boone and Aaron Judge.
Be nice. Yeah, well, I'm not turning them away. That's what I'm going to tell you if I do that. Hey, great job. I've been listening. You guys did a great job. I appreciate it. Who you got? Matt coming up now and then Pete? Is that the plan?
Yep, we're going to delve into college football with Matt Hayes here shortly. And then at the bottom of the hour, Pete Prisco will check in and talk all things NFL, brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. So stay tuned, everybody. Thanks so much, Frank.
All right, see you guys.
That is all coming up next on a Kitchen and Flooring Design Center Wednesday on The Frangie Show on 1010XL.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings' studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
1010XL takes you behind the microphone.
Who's the dumbass?
Whoa! Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
What's that, dumbass?
Say it again.
You want me to?
I dare you. The Drill.
Dumbass.
Mornings on 1010XL.
Hey, if you want a bank you can trust, you want Center State Bank with 7 locations here on the First Coast. Terrific people. Terrific bankers. They understand banking and finance. They understand how hard it is to start and maintain a business. That's why they're Florida's business bank. But they also understand how important it is to treat you right on a personal level. Nice folks, good bankers. That's what you get from Center State Bank. It really is. I love banking at Center State Bank. 7 locations on the First Coast. You want a bank? You want Center State Bank.
Exciting news from Diamonds Direct. We're moving. Thanks to the way you've embraced our unique concept, we've totally outgrown our current showroom. So, we're upgrading. Moving to a brand new store that's 50% larger with an even larger selection to serve you. The new Diamonds Direct is opening very soon off Town Center Parkway just left of the Hyatt. It's a freestanding building with a stunning new showroom with incredible lake views and more fine jewelry than you've ever seen in one place. Same great people, same great industry-leading warranties and guarantees, same unbeatable values, but it's in a new, spacious, modern, and luxurious showroom with even more diamonds, more designer jewelry, more engagement ring mountings, more bands and bracelets and pendants and earrings. It's the best selection in all of Florida. At Diamonds Direct, our passion is celebrating love and new beginnings, and now we invite you to join us in celebrating this new chapter in our life. Diamonds Direct, upgrading to an all-new showroom opening soon off Town Center Parkway, just left of the Hyatt behind Firebirds.
When you need a trusted plumber for your home,
Call TNT Plumbing.
you'll always have a licensed plumber in your home with TNT. Call or text 508-3455, 508-3455.
TNT Plumbing, quality craftsmanship, and dynamite customer service.
Warning. This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. The world is changing. Isn't it time smoking changed too? Meet Vuse Alto, a vapor product offering you a satisfying alternative to cigarettes. With long-lasting pods filled with liquid blended in the US, Vuse Alto delivers our highest performing vapor yet. Simple to use, surprisingly quiet, and impressively powerful. Vuse, leading the way today, tomorrow, and the future. Underage sale prohibited.
The 1010XL restaurant of the day is Flame Broiler. For a healthy lunch alternative as low as $6 that includes chicken or Angus beef piled on top of rice and veggies, stop by one of their 4 Jacksonville locations today. Simple, fast, healthy. Flame Broiler.
Attention Jags fans, Money Pages is giving away 4,000 preseason tickets to celebrate the 25th season of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is your chance for you and a friend to win free preseason tickets. All you have to do is download the free Money Pages app today, and you can enter to win. The savings don't stop there. When you download the free Money Pages mobile app, you'll unlock great local savings on the go. Good luck, and go Jaguars!
No purchase necessary. At least 18. Void outside Florida and Georgia. See moneypagesticketgiveaway.com for entry dates and official rules.
Hey folks, been thinking about getting your carpets cleaned? Call Zero Res, the #1 rated carpet cleaner in town. Call us to get your carpets, tile and grout, area rugs, and furniture cleaned. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Come see the new showroom and new displays at the Kitchen and Flooring Design Center, located on Southside Boulevard across from Tinseltown. The friendly, experienced group of interior designers will help you transform your home. They specialize in kitchen design, bath design, and closet design. The Kitchen and Flooring Design Center is used by many builders, home remodelers, and assisted living communities in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll find brands like Timberlake, Doll Tile, Mohawk, Craftmade, Cambria, Legacy, and tons more. Head to floorsandkitchen.com or stop by the Kitchen and Flooring Design Center today.
This is the Mangler. By now you've heard my commercial for Advanced Disposal and our need for CDL drivers. As a result, we've added some good drivers to our team. However, we still have some positions to fill. We're looking for CDL drivers in Northeast Florida, especially in Clay County, St. Johns County, and yes, Duval! Come be a starter on our team. Earn a solid wage and get full benefits. Head to our website, advanceddisposal.com/careers, and get signed up today. That's advanceddisposal.com/careers.
Equal opportunity employer.
Baloo here for Keystone Automotive Paint. Of course, they are the distributor for Axo Nobel Sickens. We do want to congratulate the customer of the month. That is Claude Nolan Cadillac Collision Repair Center. They're on Southside Boulevard in Quality Circle. Been a Sickens user now for more than 20 years. Folks, to get Sickens and all other automotive paint, there's only one distributor right here in Jacksonville. Of course, I'm talking about Keystone Automotive Paint.
My name is Janice. I'm a client of Brett Hastings. Brett is the most brilliant, diligent, hardworking attorney I have ever met. He is truly dedicated to his clients and fights for them to the very end. Brett fought hard to win a large personal injury lawsuit for me. They are the very best legal team I have ever met. I would hire them again in a heartbeat.
Learn more at justiceforjacksonville.com. Law offices of Brett Hastings, where the injured find justice.
Frank Frangie here for Center State Bank, Florida's business bank, but also a bank you could trust. You see, that's the big thing. I've got to trust my banker. Trust that they are truly skilled bankers, but also that my needs matter. My bankers at Center State Bank know me. They know what I need. Whether it's personal, business, loans, or beyond, they know me and I trust them. In the world of banking, that relationship really matters. A bank you can trust. Center State Bank, with 7 locations in Jacksonville and St. Augustine, Florida's business bank.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. This update brought to you by TIAA Bank. The Jaguars-Ravens kick off the preseason tomorrow night. Kickoff at 7:30. Catch the ball game right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Our coverage begins at 3 o'clock tomorrow with the Coastal Equipment Kickoff Show featuring Lauren Brooks, Hayes Carline, and Tony Smith. The Jaguars will wear white jerseys and black pants for tomorrow's preseason opener against the Ravens. If you'd like to hear the Frangie and Tony Baselli and Jeff Lageman broadcast from the Jaguars, you can download the new and improved free Jaguars mobile app. Just look for it in your app store on your Apple or Android device. At 5:02, 81 degrees. Your time and temperature brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hayes Carline, Andrew Gibson, and Lauren Brooks with you as Frank Frangie signed off to attend to very important things up in Baltimore. Like I'm sure finishing up his game boards and then going to a baseball game.
I would think that would be quite a challenge when there's 90 guys, and
absolutely.
I mean, he'll obviously get he'll know who isn't not going to be playing, but it's still.
Sure.
Even if they rule out, let's say 15, just to have to keep up with 75, and then you've got the Ravens, that's a challenge. I would think like of all the games, of all 20, tomorrow would be the most challenging.
You think tomorrow, or you think the fourth preseason game? Oh, I guess tomorrow because you haven't called any games yet.
Yeah, by the fourth at least he'll know.
That's a good point.
The Jaguars backwards and forwards.
That's true. Yeah, you're probably right. Tomorrow's got to be the hardest. My problem would be, at times, if the numbers aren't very clear, I don't know how you see it quickly enough to be able to call it. I'd be like, and a Jaguars player picked off the ball. I'm going to have to get back to you on who it is. Hold on. Is that an 8 or a 6? And my call would be terrible, Hayes Carline.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
I could not
I
either.
have no ability to do that.
No, I truly do not have good enough eyesight to begin with, and then let alone being able to call everything in live action. And we always, talk about how it, not just the players on the roster, but just getting all of that right at the same time, and then having the timing between the two guys in the booth too. I mean, it's a whole lot of stuff, plus sponsor stuff, and I mean, it is a lot. So I certainly tip my cap to Frank in getting all the pronunciations correct. I heard the drill kind of teasing Baselli. He did not call Cedric Ogbuehi by the proper last name at one point in time. But you know what? He's still in preseason form, too. Everybody gets a little time before they settle in. All right, we're tracking down Matt Hayes. I know earlier he was at the Mellow Mushroom in Avondale hanging out with Joe C. for XL Primetime, and they were going to have some sort of a happy hour with Funky Buddha. So Matt may still be enjoying said happy hour, and we'll try and catch up with him in just a little bit. But to finish our conversation about Bill Barnwell's 5 teams that he predicts will decline in 2019 from ESPN, we discussed the Rams and the Saints. We also discussed the Chargers. Let's get it to the Cowboys. I think they might be in the most interesting situation because currently Zeke Elliott is holding out. There's been a lot of chatter that maybe Dak Prescott isn't worth as much as Zeke is. What do you think about Dallas?
I think they take a step back. I'm not as I'm not as high on them as many are. I think the Eagles win that division. I think the Eagles win that division running away. I think Dallas is a 7-9, 8-8 team. They were 10-6 last year. We always see about half the teams turn over in terms of who makes the playoffs. I think Dallas is one that made it last year that will not make it this year. So I got to admit, I disagreed with the majority of Barnwell's these teams will rise and surprise. Mm-hmm. But on his decline list, I think it's I say that. I agree on Dallas. I don't agree on the Rams and the Saints and the Chargers. Yeah. Never mind. I don't agree with anything he says. What am I talking about? Yeah, it's so one of us is going to be really right and one of us is going to be really wrong because Dallas is the rare one I agree with on this list. I think the Chargers, the Saints, the Rams, they'll be fine. And I think there'll be teams that do get back in. But it's interesting as you go through it. So I'll just go through it with you. You tell me these are teams that made the playoffs last year. Tell me if you think they make it this year. The Patriots.
Yes.
I agree.
Easiest one you could have ever asked.
Yeah. They won that division last year by...
They always win that division.
4 games.
Yeah.
4 games.
4 games.
And
that sounds like a baseball
and the team that finished second, who Barnwell has on the list,
right?
The Dolphins, I think will have the number 1 pick in the draft.
Right,
so.
yeah. The Dolphins at 7-9. He thinks they're going to decline. I suppose he doesn't like either Josh Rosen or Ryan Fitzpatrick. But keep going.
So they seem like they're headed towards Justin Herbert or Tua, whoever they take at 1. The Ravens.
No.
I agree.
I don't believe
so that's
Lamar
1
Jackson.
in, 1 out. How about the Texans?
I will say no to the Texans.
I agree, but I'm almost saying no because I know the rule that half don't go back.
And I also do believe that the Jaguars might be able to take that Texans spot.
Right.
In the glass half full approach.
Absolutely. The Colts.
Yes.
Okay, I agree. So that's 2-2. The Chiefs.
Well done. It's hard to host and keep tally marks.
I'm doing my best here.
The Chiefs, I'm going to say yes, even though I don't want them to win week 1 for sure.
Sure. And how about the Chargers?
Yes.
Okay, so that's 4 in, 2 out
Okay,
in
and
the
usually
AFC.
6 total?
Right. So
Okay.
the NFC, that would tell us that 2 return, 4 do not. So
Okay.
we'll just see if that takes place.
If the formula works.
Dallas.
I'm going to say no.
Okay. Eagles.
I'm going to say no.
Oh, who do you think wins the division?
It's a good question. I don't know. But I
Okay.
just don't think that the Eagles. Here's why. I think that the Eagles needed Nick Foles more than they think, and Carson Wentz is not going to stay as healthy.
So you think that could be like Washington or the Giants?
Could be Washington because of Dwayne Haskins, in my belief. No. And truth be told, the Eagles probably will make the playoffs because
Okay.
Washington's not very good. The Giants aren't very good.
So move Eagles back in.
Yeah. I
Okay,
guess.
reluctantly. but
Yeah,
move them back. They might win it at 8-8.
I just don't want anything good for Philadelphia.
I
right
got
now.
you.
That's all.
How about the Bears?
The Bears, ooh, that's a tough call, but I'll say yes.
Okay.
Even though if you look at the Bears being very similar to the Jaguars made it the year with the really good defense, and then the next year didn't. So, yeah, but I mean, you could find another team in that division to win it. So, but I said yes. So never mind. I'm staying with the Bears.
Okay.
See, this is hard for me, Hayes.
It's the
This is
NFC
hard.
is loaded.
Because I could say the Packers win that division.
Absolutely. And even the Vikings. I mean,
Sure, the
we're,
Vikings
you
could
know,
too.
8-7-1. They've got the good defense. Maybe
Sure.
Cousins is better in year 2 there.
Ooh, this is hard.
What about the Saints?
I say absolutely yes for the Saints.
I agree.
So I might backtrack and say no for the Bears, and I'll say the Packers end up winning.
Okay.
So, yeah, I've got another
So that's
no.
2-2 in the NFC. Okay. 2 more teams. Rams
I'll say yes.
and then Seahawks.
Ooh, you know, I'm going to go no for the Seahawks.
Okay. So that's about right. So then
yeah.
you would have 5 that went last year that don't go.
Yep.
Which would be in line with
Sure.
basically the ratio.
If I didn't make a complete and total circle for 5 minutes on the Bears, then I really think I did that because of Taylor Dahl, honestly, being a big Bears fan. And so sometimes when you follow someone on Twitter and you read things through their eyes, you start to kind of think, oh, well, no wonder they're going to be great again. But, yeah, I mean, the Packers certainly, with a new coach, it could go one way or the other for them. They could certainly regress at the same time. But, yeah, it does follow his formula.
And it almost seems like last year the trade of Khalil Mack sort of jolted the NFC North, and it was almost like opponents weren't prepared for that. And he is a great player, so I'm not suggesting that with an offseason to study, all of a sudden Khalil Mack gets neutralized.
Sure.
He's still going to be a unbelievable player for the Bears. But I do wonder if the Vikings, Packers, and Lions now maybe have a little bit more of a plan and how to not just get absolutely destroyed by Khalil Mack. And in Chicago's defense, he's not a one-man gang. I know they've got talent across the board. But the Bears, to me, feel like a team that could go from 12-4 to 7-9, 8-8, and be out. But, yeah, I agree with you. I don't like Seattle. I think the 49ers jump past them. The Rams, Saints, I think, are back in the playoffs. I do think the NFC North will have a new champion and the Bears will be out. And I like the Eagles to go back, but not the Cowboys. But, yeah, I mean, AFC, I agree with everything you said. I think the Texans won't get back. I think the Colts will. The West, I almost think, is a no-brainer that between the Chiefs and Chargers, one's going to win the division, one's going to be probably the top wild card. No one's touching the Patriots. And I don't think the Ravens repeat in the North.
But if I am a Colts fan, I'm starting to be a little concerned that Luck even said about himself he's worried about that strained calf and hasn't been practicing. Do they have a timetable that you've seen for when he's going to start?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be about another week away, so probably return right before the second preseason game, but not playing it.
Right, and then maybe
get him ready for the third. But I forgot last year that he missed all of camp. Recovering from the shoulder, and then basically didn't miss a beat. I mean, they started 1-5. The team struggled, but Luck was good throughout.
And that was more because of the defense.
Right, exactly, coming together. So, I think the Colts will be pretty dangerous.
So I know neither of you have watched Hard Knocks yet, but I highly recommend it. I thought it was fascinating to watch. I really enjoyed John Gruden's personality. You get kind of a look inside Derek Carr's personality a little bit, too. And Antonio Brown and his kids were hilarious in that one scene that I'm sure you've seen on Twitter by this point with them asking about where Ben Roethlisberger is. But I do highly, highly recommend it. What I don't recommend is ESPN The Ocho. I am currently watching lawnmower racing, which is by far the best thing I've seen yet on this television. Earlier, it was Tetris World Tetris Championships. And before that, it was like the European Trans Am Championships, which is buses doing odd things. And so all I have to say is I do recommend Hard Knocks. I do not recommend ESPN The Ocho.
I'm glad you liked Hard Knocks, and I'm looking forward to watching it hopefully tonight. I had heard that there was a little criticism about they're not going to show you these things this year, and it's not going to be maybe as inside, but I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed it. Gruden's got to be worth the price of admission. I mean, how great was Gruden?
He was great because I don't think he was putting on for the cameras. That was one thing I was a little bit worried about because obviously he's been in television in the broadcast booth for several years. And I was afraid that we would get kind of that Gruden and not really the stripped down version. But I thought he was very real with his players. To me, he was almost more, he exposed more on the show than I expected to see. I kind of thought he would, manipulate it and be like, I need to go talk to that guy off camera. You know what I mean? Just because he knows, even though Hard Knocks can certainly adjust and they're the producers of the show. But still, I think you got a lot of insight into how their camp's going. The one thing I can't figure out, and only time will tell, games will tell, is how good is Derek Carr? And I loved, there was a scene that Jonathan Abrams, one of the rookies, is kind of teasing Carr about how he needs to pay for dinner because of how much money he's made and everything. And $125 million is the deal he was given a couple of years ago. And he hasn't really, they went 4-12 last year. He hasn't lived up to that. So I do think it's going to be a fascinating team to watch. And certainly all eyes are on Antonio Brown, and some eyes are on Richie Incognito as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Derek Carr is maybe, it's so hard to predict. Where he might be the hardest player to predict where his career going, because you hear things like this is it, that they've already decided that Gruden's going to find his next quarterback in this coming draft, and that Derek Carr will not be the quarterback when they go to Vegas, and they want to launch that with a rookie to get people excited. But he's not that far removed from some pretty good things. He threw his second year in the league in 2015, 32 touchdowns, 13 picks. The year after that, 28 touchdowns, 6 picks. And then these last 2 years, it's like something has just happened, and it's odd to have 3 really quality years. His rookie year was impressive because he never took sacks. His numbers weren't amazing, but it was impressive how he had that savvy of when to get rid of the ball. He was only sacked 24 times as a rookie. I remember then Greg Olsen came here, and that sort of became how are you able to do that? And
now he's back out there.
And now he's back with Gruden. But the last 2 years for Carr, 22 touchdowns, 13 picks in 2017, and then 19 touchdowns, 10 picks in 2018. So that's an odd time to see in a career path, to see a player that looks so good for the first 3 all of a sudden have 2 really mediocre years. And with that contract that you mentioned, that you just can't tolerate that for long. If this is a mediocre year, there's no reason for them to continue to keep you. Because I think at this point, I'll have to check, but I think at this point, they can probably get out of that deal with very little damage, if any, because I think he's been on it now. This would be year 3, I think, of that deal for Carr. And we talked about the depth just across the league at that position and how it's probably at an all-time high. You would have never seen a player like Derek Carr just hit the street. You never would have seen it 10 years ago with what he's done. And I think there's a good chance if he doesn't have a good year, you could see it. And I don't think he walks right in to, I don't think he gets the Nick Foles treatment of one team willing to give him, a fairly lucrative contract. I think Derek Carr goes somewhere and is probably in a battle to win a starting job with a rookie or another, maybe in a Ryan Tannehill, Marcus Mariota kind of situation, what we're seeing this year with the Titans. Looking at Carr's contract in 2020, they can save $16.5 million.
That figure sounds familiar.
Yeah, exactly. We've heard that one before, right? By releasing him, there's $5 million in dead money, but that's not anything they wouldn't walk away from to save the 16.5, because his cap figure is scheduled to be $21.5 million in 2020. So, really, really interesting. Because I like Derek Carr. I don't know that, I would move mountains to acquire him. But if I was a team that, if the Raiders cut him, and I was a team that needed a quarterback, I'd feel good about Derek Carr in drafting.
But on more of like a
rookie.
1-year deal, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he's the long-term answer, but he's still just going to be, even after next year, he would still be 29. So, again, you have to figure that there's a window of 5 or 6 years where he could still, if he get, again, he may just be a guy kind of like what we're seeing with Nick Foles is, does he have to be with the right guy? And most quarterbacks are like that. I think there's some that I don't think it matters. So you could put Aaron Rodgers with Mike Mularkey. Aaron Rodgers is still going to have elite passing numbers. He's still going to look ridiculous. But there are quarterbacks that are more system-oriented and really need to figure out what they can and can't do. But, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing how Hard Knocks treats Derek Carr, and that's insightful what you're saying about just that first episode of him in Hard Knocks, because a rookie should not be asking the franchise quarterback to pay for dinner. The rookie who was taken in the first round should be paying for the dinner.
Well, he's by far, we talk about all the guys that we thought would be really fun to watch, as far as in this Hard Knocks. And I will tell you, I think he might be the one that you walk away with the most, not jaw-dropping scenes or whatever, but you walk away being like, oh, I think I like, you learn a lot more about Abrams, but you also, at least I walked away going, I really like that guy's personality. He's not usually one that I would like, but either way, I'm not gonna spoil anything. I do highly recommend that you check it out.
Did they feature Josh Jacobs a lot?
No.
Okay.
No.
Did they start these are the fringe guys? Have they started the
There was a little bit last night of a fringe
kind
guy.
of planting the seeds a little bit.
Yep, and I will say someone doesn't survive the first episode. So
that's always
I read that they were debating, the producers of Hard Knocks were debating on whether or not to show guys getting cut anymore. Did you read that? I read that earlier.
Yeah, I did see it. And that was what I was sort of talking about, is it seemed like there was some criticism of maybe this is the end of Hard Knocks because you're just not going to get really the inside stuff that's made that show so memorable.
I don't need to see a guy get cut, though.
I would sort of agree. If it's a major trade, I think the year that the Dolphins traded Vontae Davis to the Colts, that was fascinating. The year that might have been the same year that Philbin cut Chad Johnson, Ochocinco. That was really intriguing. If it's a guy that had no chance to make the team, like if Hard Knocks was here, I don't need to see Dave Caldwell cutting KC McDermott. Like that's there's almost like a cruelty to that.
Correct.
There was one year where it showed, I think it was the year they did it with Cincinnati, and it showed their Turk knocking on their doors at like 4 a.m, and that's ridiculous. So they got some grief over that. It's like, why are you, pulling these guys out in the middle of the night to cut them? So I understand it. It's can be a tough watch and you feel bad. But some of it's awesome. Like, again, when they did the Rams and they had the call of Fisher, they had the video of Fisher from his office calling Nick Foles.
I remember this.
To tell him that they were cutting him. And I think it was, what was it going to be, like the day before they reported to camp?
Yeah, and it was just like the whole conversation. I actually tweeted this video like several months ago when the Jaguars signed Foles, and this is obviously now looking at it. Foles is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and Jeff Fisher does whatever he wants now because he's not a head coach. But it was just like, hey, what'd you do this summer, blah, 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 and hey, we're going to cut you. That's exactly how it went.
Yeah, so I do hope that they at least leave some of that stuff in. I hope it doesn't become a really sanitized show because there's a beauty of Hard Knocks in really seeing what goes on day to day in an NFL operation. And so, but kind of got nervous when the league mandated the rule of, well, we can pick you now. If you didn't make the playoffs for the last 2 years and you don't have a new head coach, we can just make you do it. When you get into the whole, we might make you do it, you're not going to have good cooperation. I still think it's a good marketing tool for a team. I don't think it puts you in any sort of competitive disadvantage. I mean, I'm a novice, so I don't know if maybe opposing coaches are able to really pick up a lot of great things watching Hard Knocks, but I wouldn't think because they're not really going into roster building and how what their big plans are. I mean,
Sure.
it's some staff meeting stuff here and there, but nothing that I don't think a rival coach would be able to figure out on his own.
Well, and I think it might take more work from the producer if they can't get into some of those behind-the-scenes elements that they used to be able to. But as long as you've got good producers, and of course HBO does, I think it still comes across as a really good show. All right, Gibby, more breaking news today.
Yeah, there was an injury scare today in the NFL. Joe Hayden, the former Gator starter at cornerback for the Steelers, was carted off the practice field today, but Adam Schefter from ESPN saying a minor ankle injury, so maybe crisis averted for the Steelers.
Well, that is good news, and Joe Hayden certainly was an excellent cornerback at the University of Florida. All right. We are going to check in with Pete Prisco when we come back. That is always brought to you by Showtime Sports, Cards, and Collectibles. We'll check in with Pete and talk all things NFL next on The Frangie Show on a Kitchen and Flooring Design Center Wednesday on 1010XL.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings Studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
High school football rocks the First Coast Saturday, August 24th with the Publix Bold City Showcase presented by Sonic. 3 marquee matchups back-to-back on 1010XL, live from Skinner Barco Stadium at the Bowl School. Lee versus Bartram Trail at 1. Atlantic Coast versus defending state champion Mandarin at 4. And University Christian Bowls at 7. FanFest opens at 11:30. Get tickets at jackshighschool912.com. That's 912.com.
Everybody else! Did you know that Garber Automall has wiggled in a lifetime warranty on select pre-owned vehicles? That's right, Garber Automall pre-owned vehicles come with a lifetime of protection. At Garber Automall, you get the best trade-in value, best payments, best price, and now a lifetime warranty. Garber Automall wiggles, and with a lifetime warranty, we wiggle big. So visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Automall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Exciting news from Diamonds Direct. We're moving. Thanks to the way you've embraced our unique concept, we've totally outgrown our current showroom. So, we're upgrading. Moving to a brand new store that's 50% larger with an even larger selection to serve you. The new Diamonds Direct is opening very soon off Town Center Parkway just left of the Hyatt. It's a freestanding building with a stunning new showroom with incredible lake views and more fine jewelry than you've ever seen in one place. Same great people, same great industry-leading warranties and guarantees, same unbeatable values. But it's in a new, spacious, modern, and luxurious showroom with even more diamonds, more designer jewelry, more engagement ring mountings, more bands and bracelets and pendants and earrings. It's the best selection in all of Florida. At Diamonds Direct, our passion is celebrating love and new beginnings. And now we invite you to join us in celebrating this new chapter in our life. Diamonds Direct, upgrading to an all-new showroom opening soon off Town Center Parkway, just left of the Hyatt behind Firebirds.
Oldcastle APG, a leading manufacturer and supplier of concrete masonry, has an immediate opening for a night shift maintenance technician. Position offers great pay, medical, dental, and profit sharing. Apply at oldcastleapg.com, oldcastleapg.com.
Dave Benyon here with Zero Res. My sons and I just cleaned a massive church building, and wow, did the carpets look great when we were done. If your church, place of business, or office floors need cleaning, give Zero Res a call. That same great process that works in your home works at your work. If your workplace needs cleaning, tell the boss to call Zero Res. We'll be glad to come and do a free estimate. For the month of August only, we are offering 20% off all commercial carpet cleaning. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Gentlemen, discover the new medical treatment that Viagra doesn't want you to know about. I'm Bradley I with Synergenics Elite Health, and we offer GainsWave. It's a simple 20-minute in-office procedure. GainsWave is non-invasive, and it restores the poor blood flow that causes ED. Stop popping pills and scheduling intimacy. Call 904-500-5500. Consultations are free. Mention this radio station for $150 off your first treatment. Call Synergenics Elite Health at 904-500-5500 to learn about the GainsWave ED treatment today.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles update. Mark your calendars for Jaguars running back Raquel Armstead's in-store signing on Friday, August 16th at 6:30 p.m. The former Temple back will be at Showtime 1 week from Friday, signing autographs. Friday, August 16th, tickets are limited for Rock Armstead. We're at the intersection of Phillips Highway and Shad Road. It's Showtime, sports cards and collectibles. Update your collection.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists helps you be the best when you play and brings you
the best of Into the Night Replay.
I've been saying it all along. Who is your third down back? Who is going to catch the football? They're working hard with Leonard Fournette in this situation. Right now, if he can stay healthy, I think 40 footballs at the minimum I would expect him to catch this year. At the minimum.
Marine Max Jacksonville Beach and Grady White Boats are both ready to get you on the water today. Grady White is celebrating 60 years of providing the ultimate boat ownership experience. Whether you are a hardcore fisherman or just want to enjoy cruising Northeast Florida waters, Grady White has 27 models from 18 to 45 feet to choose from. Visit Marine Max Jacksonville Beach, marinemax.com/Jacksonville.
Complete your outdoor living with all-weather patio furniture from Stonecore. Eco-friendly, designed to look luxurious and last a lifetime. Many styles, many colors, and made in the USA. Stonecore on Phillips Highway, 1 mile north of the Avenues Mall.
Dreamfinders Homes has a simple commitment to our home buyers. Deliver unsurpassed quality, uncompromising value, and an extraordinary level of customization you simply will not find with other home builders. Lauren Brooks here. Find a location you love and the home of your dreams. We have townhomes, single-family, and custom estate homes starting from the mid-100s. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Price is subject to change without notice. Equal housing opportunity.
Pickett here. Guys, I got to tell you, it's true. We just had the new air conditioning system installed at the house. We are cooler with Bueller. That's right. My wife did some research. Trust me, we compared. And at the end of the day, Bueller Air Conditioning, the clear choice. They were on time, friendly, professional from start to finish. Our new system is awesome. Take it from me. If you need air conditioning help, I recommend Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
License CAC 1816716.
Bueller Air. Stay cooler with Bueller.
The Truck Accident Law Firm is a national truck crash law firm based right here in Jacksonville, focused on making First Coast roads safer through zealous advocacy for families of those injured or killed by unsafe trucking. The Truck Accident Law Firm focuses exclusively on tractor-trailer, bus, and commercial vehicle crashes. If someone you know is involved in a serious crash with a tractor-trailer or commercial vehicle, contact your local truck crash specialists at truckcrashlaw.com. Non-attorney spokesperson.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
He's number 55, Mac in the middle, Tom McManus.
What an athlete, tremendous competitor.
Fridays on Jaguars Today, brought to you by McGowan's, the official heating and air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars on 1010XL.
It's a Kitchen and Flooring Design Center Wednesday on The Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
One segment to go here on The Frangie Show. Frank Frangie up in Baltimore as he will be calling the Jaguars and Ravens preseason game that kicks off tomorrow night at 7:30. You can hear that game right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM, or you can listen to the new Jaguars app. Our coverage starts at 3 p.m. with the Coastal Equipment kickoff show. That'll be Hayes Carlyon, Tony Smith, and myself with you from 3 to 4:30, and then the Publix Tailgate Show will take over. Hayes, we were chatting in the break about the Jaguars linebacking core, and obviously we've expressed our concerns about the depth, but my question is, if you don't play Myles Jack, and that was your plan, then who starts at middle linebacker for the Jags against the Ravens tomorrow night?
Get me Dick Butkus. Yeah, it's slim pickings because Quincy, really across the board, Quincy Williams is out with the knee, which we know. I would not play Myles Jack. I think that would be idiocy to risk. That's the, other than Nick Foles getting hurt, that is the absolute last thing this team needs, is for Myles Jack to get injured. So I wouldn't play 44 against the Ravens. And on Walu, who was the sort of battling with Leon Jacobs at the strong side spot, is out. Jake Ryan is out. Any linebacker on this roster want to stay healthy and actually participate? It's tough. So I think you're probably looking at maybe Ramik Wilson plays the week, even though Najee Good has been filling in for Quincy Williams. At least that was what they were doing prior to leaving for Baltimore. And it sounds like the reports are still that it's basically Najee Good playing above Wilson. But I think Good can play in the middle, so maybe it'll be Wilson at weak, Good in the middle, and then Jacobs at strong side. And then it is going to be rep city for a lot of these guys, like Joe Giles Harris.
Oh, 57.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen him. I've noticed him some, actually.
Get ready to get the puke bucket ready because you're going to be out there for 50 snaps at least. So it's going to be difficult for the linebackers, I think. But I wouldn't play Miles. I mean, I wouldn't play Miles Jack because I feel like I can't put too many reps on a guy who I'm going to cut in 3 weeks anyway. So, if the Ravens run for 250 yards and you move on to the next one. But I wouldn't play Miles Jack, and they're hampered with the injuries, at the position already. So it'll be fun to watch, see how what Todd Wash decides to do. What are your thoughts on the linebacker and just the defense in general?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right as far as the linebackers go. I think Good might end up being that middle linebacker, and Ramik Wilson at weak side. Strong side, I assume it'll be Leon Jacobs, and so that's how they'll start the game. But DJ Alexander and, like you said, Giles Harris, I think will get some reps too. The defense in general, I really just want to walk away with no injuries tomorrow night. That is really my main focus. I don't care if we don't see a lot of the key guys. It does not matter to me. I didn't pay for this ticket. I'm going to be watching it on television. I just worry that the injuries. So, I mean, I do think we'll see Josh Allen. Frank had mentioned that in the last segment. By the way, Pete Prisco will join us here momentarily. He is getting through, I think, he just flew, so he's probably picking up his luggage and all that fun stuff and probably getting his rental car. He flew to Arizona from Green Bay. So he will join us shortly, brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. But, yeah, do you think we will see Josh Allen? I mean, he's your prized possession at that 7th pick overall, but he is a rookie. So, I mean, I think you could go either way.
I think you could go either way. They treated him with kid gloves and OTAs when he had the bruised knee, and they on day one, and they held him out for weeks because of it. So they've certainly showed a cautious approach when it comes to Josh Allen, but I think he'll play. He's gone through. He really hasn't missed any part of training camp. He is a rookie. So I don't think it'll be for very long, but it probably, you do have to ask, will it make the player better? In Josh Allen's case, it probably does to get him out there, but it would be a small snap count, 10 snaps, 12 snaps, something along those lines.
But are you really getting better if the Ravens also aren't playing starters?
Yeah, I think just to get the experience of, an NFL environment is watered down as this will be. And I think while it's a new school approach for an old school coach like Doug Marrone, I still think
that rhymed.
I'm doing my best here. Wait until I get warmed up. I think there is still that, he's a rookie. And if he's not really battling something like Rock Armstead, the running back, didn't practice, as far as I know, either day against the Ravens. So I think you can hold him out, and no one thinks twice about it because he hasn't been practicing. Josh Allen's been practicing.
Injury, so that is a soft tissue
right.
versus or muscle injury versus the knee, which is just a bruise, like you said.
I would have no problem if they didn't play Josh Allen, but my guess is, as far as Marrone has come and his new thinking of being cautious and smart and not being as hard and physically demanding on the players, I think it's tough to make a healthy rookie a scratch. in the first preseason game. So I think he'll play. I don't think it'll be for very long because I do think they need to see, is DeJuan Smoot gonna show something?
Bryan.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some other guys on here that, you'd like to see take advantage of the reps. So, yeah, I think he'll play, but I would say a little bit. What do you think on Josh Allen? What would you do?
Ugh, it's so hard. I probably would give him a few snaps and then call it a day. Just because I think all rookies deserve a little bit of playing time. Or maybe not deserve, but need a little bit of playing time. But at the same time, if I'm definitely playing them next week, what does it hurt to hold them out one more week? That's just the way I go back and forth. But, I think, again, if the Ravens aren't playing their starters, am I gaining that much by playing my guys? I just feel like the whole time I would be holding my breath, making sure that no injury occurs. And I don't think I used to feel nearly this way or feel as much this way until the Marquise Lee injury and just how devastating it was to him, to this team. And so, yeah, it bothers me a little bit. Has Dayton Jones done anything for you in training camp so far?
He has looked good here and there. Veteran guy. He was an intriguing signing, very under the radar. So, yeah, he's a guy that interested to see. Like, what do they have something there? They're pretty deep in the interior. But yeah, does he have something left? Because that would certainly boost the defense if he's able to give them some veteran experience and be able to provide some depth. And I think he has looked good at times. I hope Dontavius Russell is the guy that I'm really looking out for in this game because he's going to get a lot of reps, the 7th-round pick out of Auburn. And I think he's looked better than Jones. I think Russell's looked really, really good from what I've seen. So, will they keep them both? They could. Eli Anku will play into that somewhat as well. We know Taven Bryan's a lock for the roster. We know Avery Jones, Marcel Darius are locks for the roster.
And Taven's more a lock because of where he was drafted, not necessarily his production.
Yeah, although I still think it's not totally give up on Taven Bryan. I think the feeling is, look, he was a developmental player. We drafted him for his tools more than the polished prospect, and he was going to need time. And while he hasn't lit it up in training camp, it's also a little tough. They haven't been in pads all that long, and so I think he's on the roster because they still believe there could be something there worthwhile. There probably isn't a star there. I'd be surprised if anybody at TIAA Bank Field believes they have a star in Taven Bryan, but they might have a serviceable guy that can play in the league for 8 or 9 years and have his moments. But yeah, it's a big night for Taven Bryan to build some momentum, and he's not alone in that. I'll be interested to see what they do with DJ Hayden. I mean, he hasn't been participating, and I wouldn't think he would go. Being a veteran guy. So, again, seeing what happens at nickel, what happens with Breon Borders.
He's made some splash plays.
Yeah, he's looked good. Does Quentin Meeks sort of come out of his training camp slump, I would call it, so far and show something that, he showed as a rookie where it looked like he might be dependable. Trey Herndon's been good. So, there's going to be a lot of guys that sit out. But I still think there's going to be a lot of intriguing storylines and a lot of fascinating players to watch that really this is their shot. Because I think once you get to the 4th game, I think it's very hard when you only have that 4th game left to make it from 55th on the roster to the 53rd spot on the roster. I think it's incredibly difficult at that point. So this is your shot because there's not going to be as many reps to go around in the 2nd and 3rd game when the starters are going to play more.
And in case you missed it earlier, we did discuss the quarterbacks. We expect Nick Foles to not play and then expect to see a lot of Gardner Minshew. And then in the second half, most likely Alex Magoo will take over in the third quarter, I would assume, and Tanner Lee in the fourth quarter. That would be my best guess. If you haven't seen Minshew play, he is fun to watch. He doesn't necessarily have the biggest arm, but he does get the ball out quickly. And then Alex Magoo is a guy who is going to want to run with the football at any chance he gets. If the play breaks down,
he'll run
won't.
for 50 yards tomorrow night.
And I
guarantee it.
I do think people will fall in love with that aspect of his game. Like, oh, well, look what he can do. I mean, at times, Blake Bortles was an excellent quarterback when it comes to running the football. That was almost his best element of his game at times, was using his legs. And Magoo certainly, A, is a willing runner, as Dan Mullen puts it, and B, he is fast and athletic. So I think fans will be treated to a little bit of Alex Magoo football in the second half.
Yes, I would set the rushing yards at 50 and a half, and I would set his passing yards at 20 and a half.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, but it's just what we've seen.
We've seen quarterbacks here be successful running the ball for more yards than throwing the ball.
It has happened before. It
Don't be
absolutely
surprised.
has happened before.
We are efforting for Pete Prisco, brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Hopefully Pete is going to join us momentarily, and we will catch up with him before the Jaguars' first playoff game tomorrow, which, of course, you can hear right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Our coverage does begin at 3 o'clock. And I'm really excited about this new Jaguars app. I sit in the press box right next to you, Hayes, and we sit right in front of the stats people. And while they're wonderful people, at times I don't want to hear every single stat that's churned out. I want to hear more of kind of the broadcast call of the game. And before, you would have to actually pay for the NFL's app in order to get that. And now I believe we get to get it for free with the Jaguars app. So I think that's really exciting that I can listen to that. And also that way you get to hear less of me talking as well. All right, we do have Pete Prisco with us. This is the Prisco Report, sponsored by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. And remember, we just discussed Rock Armstead. He will be at Showtime for an autograph signing on Friday, August 16th from 6:30 until 8. Hello, Pete. How are you?
Good. Driving in the Valley of the Sun as I get ready to see Kyler Murray tomorrow night.
And how much Kyler Murray will we see?
Maybe a quarter. I mean, he's got to play.
Well, we've just been discussing how much other players will play.
He needs to play, right? He needs to play. So I think we'll see maybe a quarter of him.
Pete, what was your impression of Green Bay?
Well, they're loaded. I mean,